from Sun Life Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida, site of Super Bowl 44. This is Jim Henderson. It is New Orleans' favorite son against New Orleans' favorite team. That Peyton Manning and the Colts would be here for the second time in 4 years is no great surprise. That Drew Brees and the Saints would be here for the first time in 44 years is just a bit more unexpected. Since before the midway point of this season, fans of both teams have been anticipating this matchup. The last teams to be undefeated in the regular season, the Colts through 14 games, the Saints through 13. The number one seeds of the AFC and the NFC meeting for the first time in 17 years. This is the way it should be. This is the way it is. A full-page ad I saw in the newspaper in support of the Saints said, "The hopes of a city will finally go marching in." In the darkest moments in the history of this team and the city it represents, hope couldn't be extinguished, hope couldn't be flooded, hope couldn't be buried. Today, hope has been rewarded and faith has been confirmed. This is a wonderful day to be a Saints fan and a New Orleanian. You have already won, no matter what happens here tonight. The pregame show will continue after these messages on the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
And now with today's starting lineup, my Super Bowl MVP, Jim Henderson. Hondo, take it away.
Thank you, Hoke, and congratulations to you and all our teammates up here in the booth and making the Super Bowl. It's a special, special night,
and it's been a fun week. It really has.
It really has. Let's hope the evening is just as much, if not more fun, for the Indianapolis Colts. 14-2 in the regular season under Jim Caldwell. Reggie Wayne and Pierre Garçon open at wide receiver. Dallas Clark is the tight end. At left tackle, it's Charlie Johnson. The left guard is Ryan Lilja. The center is 11-year veteran Jeff Saturday. The right guard, Kyle Devan, and the right tackle is Ryan Dean. Peyton Manning, 10 Pro Bowls, 4 MVPs, 1 Super Bowl MVP is the quarterback of the Colts. Behind him, the LSU Tiger, Joseph Adai, and the H-back is Gian Robinson. For the Saints defensively, Bobby McRae, Cedric Ellis, Remy Adele, and Will Smith, the front four on defense. Jonathan Vilma in the middle of the linebacking core, flanked by Scott Fujita and Scott Shanley. Jabari Greer is the left cornerback, and the right corner is Tracy Porter. The free safety is Darren Sharper, and the strong safety is Roman Harper. For the Saints offensively, Marcus Colston and Devery Henderson open at wide receiver. Jeremy Shockey is the tight end. The left tackle is Jermon Bushrod, the left guard, Carl Nix. The center, Jonathan Goodwin. The right guard is Jari Evans, and the right tackle, John Stinchcomb. Drew Brees is the quarterback, and behind him, the running back is Pierre Thomas, with the fullback, Kyle Eckel. In the 4-3 defense of the Indianapolis Colts, the front four are Robert Mathis, Antonio Johnson, Dan Muir, and Dwight Freeney. The middle linebacker is Gary Brackett. The strong side linebacker, Philip Wheeler. The weak side linebacker is Clint Session. The left corner is Kelvin Hayden. On the right corner, it's Gerard Powers. The free safety is Antoine Bethea, and the strong safety is Melvin Bullock. Well, there's no question that here tonight, the Saints fans, I think, outnumber the Colts probably 10-1, wouldn't you say?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jim, really starting about Thursday is when all the black and gold faithful started getting into town, and they didn't trickle in. I mean, they were coming in by the busload. So I tell you, matter of fact, had a couple of very good friends of mine, Jerry and Rodney Terrell. They met up with one of their buddies, Mr. Mike, and the man bought an RV on Wednesday to drive it down here on Friday. And they couldn't bring, Jerry couldn't bring his brother, Mr. Cubby Terrell. He's recovering from a little health issue and some surgery that he had recently. But Mr. Cubby enjoyed the game tonight. I know you're going to enjoy it. But, again, the Who Dat cheer definitely beats Let's Go Colts any day of the week.
And you can hear some of the Who Dat cheers in the background as soon as the Saints came on this practice field to warm up. They were greeted with that cheer, and a lot of black and gold in the stands here between Miami and Fort Lauderdale at Sun Life Stadium. It is quite a scene. The field is in perfect condition. Both teams have warmed up. We're waiting the introductions. What's it been like for you here this week? I get the feeling that nobody's settled down yet from that Vikings victory as far as the fans go.
Well, you know, and the fact that it was in front of 70-some-odd thousand New Orleans Saints fans, I mean, there was just a smattering of Vikings fans there. So you got to win that NFC title game that got you into the Super Bowl right there in front of your home crowd. And now, you know, you've had 2 weeks to kind of gather this all in, but there ain't no doubt about it. The fans are still crunk. That's for sure.
Are you crunk?
I'm not exactly sure what short I am, but I don't know how to put it in words. But to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not as nervous at this game as I was the Vikings game.
I'm not either. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, I mean, again, we've had 2 weeks to kind of think about it. Josh, how many interviews have you had to do the last 2 weeks? You've been down in here. You came in last Saturday, a week ago yesterday. I came in a week ago today. So you kind of had an opportunity to talk to the players, talk to the coaches, and maybe that's what settles you down.
And the Saints are coming onto the field below to our left, and listen to the cannons fire. The fireworks go off along with all the flashbulbs. It looks like 72,000 fireflies in the stands here in Miami as the Saints make their way onto the field wearing white uniforms, white tops, gold pants, and the gold helmets. The Colts, as the home team representing the AFC, will be wearing their blue jerseys here tonight. First Super Bowl appearance in New Orleans Saints history, and I still have to pinch myself sometimes to make sure I'm not dreaming. First Super Bowl appearance in New Orleans Saints history, and I still have to pinch myself sometimes to make sure I'm not dreaming.
And I tell you what, it's going to be even more so after this ball game is over with. I think the Saints are going to come out and make one heck of a showing tonight. I really do.
I do too. As far as the Colts, Dwight Freeney's ankle has been the main part of the week as far as discussion goes. We saw him out here warming up, and then I lost sight of him. I don't know if he stayed out there through all the warm-up.
No, he came out with, he did his individual warm-up with his position coach just to kind of see how he was moving around, and then he came out there with the team for stretch, but then, like you say, he disappeared. He might have had to go back in, get that thing retaped, or maybe the tape job was too tight, had to get it loosened up.
Well, obviously, we'll be keeping our eye on him as soon as the Saints go on offense for the first time tonight. Would you expect the Saints to run right at him initially, try to test that ankle?
Well, you know, to me, I think it's going to be more difficult for him to hold up against the run because that's where he's really got to anchor those feet in the ground and hold up on a 330-pound man. When he's rushing the quarterback, he can still use that speed. He looked pretty good going straight ahead, but any time that he had to make a cut and try and flatten down the line of scrimmage, you could see that he had a little bit of tenderness in that ankle.
He's just 6'1" and 268. Obviously, his entire game is speed, spin moves, and if he doesn't have that sort of quickness, that sort of mobility, he's going to certainly be hampered, and the Saints love to run to their left behind Jermon Bushrod and Carl Nix.
Well, I mean, that's the big side of their line right there. So I would expect, like you say, maybe just starting right off the get-go, just take it right at him with some running plays.
And he's back on the field now, along with the rest of the Colts who have been introduced and brought onto the field. They're on the near sideline here, and again, as we mentioned, wearing white pants, white helmets, and their blue jerseys. So much of the focus, and rightly so, on these two Pro Bowl quarterbacks who did not have to play on this field a week ago. They were spectators. One of them richly rewarded. Peyton Manning said it wasn't too bad a deal. We flew down here. We're served Risk Crew Steakhouse food on the plane ride down. Came to the stadium, had to sign a couple of autographs, do a quick interview, wave to the fans, and collect $42,000 as the winners of the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he got a pretty good chuckle out of that from the media. He did, but, you know, I mean, I think that's just Peyton Manning's demeanor. That I know that he would have loved to have played in the game, but circumstances says that he can't.
Well, the pregame show will continue after these messages on the New Orleans Saints Radio Network. Well, everybody's talked about the keys to this game, and everybody comes down to Manning versus Breeze. What do you see is going to determine the outcome of this one, Hoke?
I think whoever wins the turnover battle will win this game. I look for both of those guys to come out there. I mean, these are the types of games that they thrive on the national stage, and I expect a lot of fireworks offensively. And again, I think the team that makes that crucial mistake, the fumble, the interception, something like that, because you can sit there and you can talk all you want about putting pressure on Peyton Manning or running the ball effectively and keeping him on the sidelines. Well, the Dolphins did that for the Dolphins had the ball for over 45 minutes when they played the Colts. Yet every time the Colts had the ball, they take the ball down and put it in the end zone and score. So you can come up with all these ways to slow down Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. It'll be the mistakes, the costly mistakes that one of them makes.
What about the fact the Saints are first-time Super Bowl performers? Teams in the Super Bowl for the first time are 4-15 against teams that have been to a Super Bowl, and since 1990, teams making their debut in this big game are 2-7.
Well, I mean, obviously the experience that the Colts have with it, you would have to say that, they'll probably be better prepared. They know what to expect all week long. They know all the hoopla surrounding the game, one thing or another. But again, I think this Saints team, because they have done so many things this year that was a first for this club, that they're kind of accustomed to setting records themselves.
Last three teams to make their first appearance in the Super Bowl 0-3. The first-time Super Bowl team to win was the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The winds are fairly negligible here tonight. The temperatures are expected to fall into the 50s. It's a beautiful night for football. We said before the Arizona game, let's get the party started. We said before the Vikings game, let's keep the party going. The party has moved to South Florida. The Saints fans have won that. Now it's up to their football team to win the game. Yard line to Roby. He's back to the 20, running near sideline and tripped up around the 22-yard line. Give him 20 yards on the return, with Aaron Francisco bringing him down. It off straight ahead to Pierre Thomas. He's across the 25 and up to the 26-yard line for a gain of 3. Philip Wheeler, the strong side linebacker, a third-round draft choice back in 2008 out of Georgia Tech, making the tackle.
Well, the Saints didn't open up the way we thought. We at least we suggested, maybe at least in our mind, they would run right at Dwight Freeney. Instead, they ran it right behind Jari Evans, their all-pro right guard.
Second and a long 8 from the 25-yard line. Pierre Thomas, the lone setback. Breeze, short set, can't find anybody. Now he dumps it off to Thomas left side. Pierre Thomas slips a tackle. He's across the 30, up to the 32-yard line. Breeze looked downfield, could find no one. Settled for Thomas, and it's good for a 7-yard gain.
And Pierre Thomas gets a good block out there by Robert Meacham. When Robert Meacham saw that the pocket was breaking down, Drew had to step up in the pocket, dumps it off out there. Robert Meacham heads up, just get out there, get a bump on the corner.
And so the Saints, with Gary Brackett making that tackle, will look at 3rd and 2 from their 31-yard line. Henderson is split out wide to the left. It's Meacham, Colston, and Shockey wide right. Standing to Breeze left as he stands in the shotgun is Reggie Bush. Breeze calls for the football. Well protected this time. Throwing downfield and looking for Meacham, and it's overthrown at the 35-yard line of the Colts and incomplete. So it's a 3-and-out for the Saints, and on will come Thomas Morstead. Jacob Lacey on the coverage of Robert Meacham.
Well, Sean Payton has said sometimes he likes to, early in the ball game, try and get Drew Brees into a rhythm. And I guess based depending on his pregame warm-ups and everything else, he tries to make him do some short, intermediate throws, let him get in that rhythm. Right there, he goes with a deep one on 3rd down.
2 rookie punters in this game, Thomas Morstead being one of them, to punt it away to T.J. Rushing. Morstead, a line drive. Rushing has an opportunity, takes it in, and he's taken down immediately. Quickly downfield is Courtney Roby making that tackle. 49 yards on the punt and nothing on the return.
Well, Courtney Roby certainly paying his dues on special teams, both as a kickoff return man, and he's done an excellent job this year covering on both kicks and punts.
Well, let's see what the Saints can do here defensively as they come on the field for the first time. Remember, the Cardinals went downfield and scored on them. The Vikings went downfield and scored on them. This is an Indianapolis Colts team that is primarily a come-from-behind second-half team. You don't want to spot them too quickly. 1st and 10 from the Colt 27. Wide to the left, it's Reggie Wayne. Wide to the right, it's Dallas Clark along with Pierre Garçon. Manning in the shotgun, directing traffic as he usually does. Snap, play action. Manning with time, throws over the middle. The catch is made by Clark up at the 46-yard line. Dallas Clark with the reception. Scott Shanley touches him down. That's a gain of 19 yards and a Colt first down.
Well, and that's it.
He had 100 receptions during the regular season, did Dallas Clark. 1st and 10 for the Colts from their 45-yard line. Manning up under center now with one back behind him. That's Adai. Adai gets the call left side, and it's going to be stacked up by Jonathan Vilma and company as he crosses the 45 up to around the 46, perhaps the 47-yard line. A pickup of 2 with Cedric Ellis in on the stop as well. 8 from the Colt 47. He retreats to the shotgun. Wayne to the near side of the field. Clark and Garcon to the far. Now Manning comes up, motions to his right tackle, who would be Ryan Deem, cautioning him about the protection. Play action, and Manning with a lot of time. Throws underneath, a dive, and he is upended on a hell of a tackle by Roman Harper, who came up and upended a dive and put him on his back, flipping him up in the air after a 4-yard reception.
Well, you know that. So even though it may look like they're in a hurry-up offense, he's going to take the clock down inside of about 5 seconds generally every time.
3rd and 4 from the Colt 49, make it the Saint 49-yard line. Roman Harper creeping up, showing blitz. The rest of the Saints standing still. Here's the snap to Manning. He looks right, now throws it over the middle. Catch made by Dallas Clark. He's to the Saint 44-yard line, and that will be enough for a first down. Roman Harper.
The first time when he went to Clark for the 19-yard gain, Scott Shanley actually had pretty good position. He was in a trail position right there, but Peyton Manning gets it far enough in front of Dallas Clark that Shanley can't get to it. Same thing right there when you put a safety on him. Puts the ball in the right spot.
7-yard gain, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of the Saints. Play action Manning. Saints with some pressure. He throws it and is broken up at the 40-yard line. Roman Harper this time putting a paw up in front of Dallas Clark and swatting that football away. And for the first time, Manning felt some heat in the pocket.
Well, and that's going to be something. I mean, I'm sure that Greg Williams right now, he's probably sitting over there. I mean, you don't want to start showing too much. It looked like the Saints came with a little bit of a delayed blitz right there. I believe that was Jonathan Vilma. He wanted to check right there with Scott Fujita. He gets in there, checks the back, and then he makes his rush.
So it is 2nd and 10 from the Saint 42-yard line. 10:37 to play. Opening quarter, scoreless game. Colts marching with their first possession. Here's Manning throwing into the right flat. Coming back to get it is Garcon, and he is taken down by Jonathan Vilma as he gets inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. That'll be a pickup of just 3. Pierre Garcon had that huge game against the Jets. 11 catches for 151 yards and a touchdown. Averaged 16.3 yards per reception during the regular season. So it's another 3rd down opportunity for the Colts. 3rd and 7 at the Saint 39-yard line. Manning in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Saints with just 3 up on the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they bring someone else. They do off the corner. Manning gives some ground, throws it upfield, catch is made, and this is Colley, who is chopped down around the 26-yard line by Darren Sharper, but that will be another first down on a 14-yard reception.
Well, another thing that Peyton Manning does right there, stands in the pocket. He's getting some pressure. Will Smith coming from that right defensive end. He gets back there. He's bearing down. He gets around the tackle and almost gets there in enough time to, but at least it made Peyton hurry a little bit. But there again, Peyton Manning's going to stand in the pocket and deliver that ball down the field.
Randall Gay on the coverage. 1st and 10 for the Colts at the Saint 25. 9:21 to play opening quarter. Scoreless game. Colts are threatening. Manning up under center, ducks out and directs traffic once more. Hands it off right side. This is going to be a dive for very little, as the Saints stack him up with Jeff Charleston getting some opportunity to play a left defensive end in on the stop. So that will be a pickup of 3 and bring up 2nd and 7 from the Saint 22. Reggie Wayne, who's been quiet, split out wide to the left. Inside him is Colley. Wide to the right, it's Garcon. 1 back behind Manning. That would be a die, and a flag has been thrown here. False start on the Colts. Looks like the initial indication.
False start. Offense. Number 66. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's the right guard, Kyle Devan.
And let's go right down to Kristian Garic.
Yeah, Hokie and Jim, the Colts are using a little bit of a side.
First penalty of the game makes it 2nd and 12 now for the Colts from the Saint 27-yard line. Manning in the shotgun. Clark stands to his left, a die to his right. 2 wide receivers to the near side of the field. Garcon to the far. Saints jumping around defensively with Vilma. Snap back to Manning. Steps up in the pocket, throws underneath. This is going to be a die, who's taken down short of the 20-yard line by Scott Fujita, as the Colts enter the red zone for the first time tonight. Manning comes out from underneath center and delivers some messages to his cohorts along the offensive line. 2 to the left and 1 to the right for Manning. Short set, throws over the middle. Ball is tipped up in the air and incomplete. Garcon couldn't make the catch at the 10-yard line as the ball was thrown just a bit low. With Jabari Greer on the coverage along with Darren Sharper, and so a field goal is forced, and Matt Stover comes on to attempt it. Stover, the oldest Super Bowl player in history at 42 years of age, attempting one from 38 yards, right hash mark on its way, end over end, and it is good. And so the Colts, driving for the first time tonight with their first possession, put 3 on the board. And with 7:29 to play opening quarter, it's the Colts 3 and the Saints nothing. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
A uniform says a lot about who you are. Take a bellman. With his uniform, he's a courteous hotel employee. Without it, he's a stranger walking away with your luggage. Uniforms can say a lot about your employees, too. We're Cintas, the uniform people, and it's our job to make your employees look and feel great. Call Cintas at 1-800-CINTAS-1. With Cintas uniforms, your employees will look like a team of professionals. Without them, well, go take a look for yourself.
Artist and jewelry designer Mignon Faget designed her first fleur-de-lis jewelry 30 years ago. Her designs are inspired by New Orleans. Her designs are handcrafted in New Orleans. Visit a Mignon Faget gallery for exceptional fleur-de-lis jewelry, glassware, crystal, candles, and gifts. Lakeside Mall, Canal Place, 3801 Magazine Street, and Baton Rouge Town Center. Also online at www.mignonfaget.com. Celebrating 40 years of design. Mignon Faget, New Orleans.
The next time you paint your home can be the last time you paint your home. Thanks to Rhino Shield, a revolutionary permanent ceramic coating that comes with a 25-year warranty. Paint once and you're done. For a free estimate, call 866-902-9937 or visit rhinoshieldgulfsouth.com.
Hi, this is Scott Fujita. For over 20 years, Covenant House New Orleans has provided shelter to homeless youth. Now, more kids than ever need their help and yours. Join me to support Covenant House and make a gift today. Visit covenanthouseno.org or call 866-756-KIDS.
Sports Talk with Bobby Hebert and Deke Bellavia, weekdays 4 to 8 p.m. on WWL.
3 and out for the Saints offensively. They punt the football away, and the Colts drive 53 yards in 11 plays in 5 minutes and 53 seconds. A 38-yard Matt Stover field goal caps the drive, and the Colts lead 3-0.
In their play selection, 8 passes, 2 rushes, and in that drive, Peyton Manning 6 out of 8 for 53 yards. And Peyton Manning was also hit twice, not sacked, but hit.
Pat McAfee to kick it away once more. It's a fairly short kickoff. Coming up is Roby to field it around the 3. Straight ahead 15, veers to his left 20, slips a tackle at the 25 and dives forward. Ball comes free momentarily, but he's going to be ruled down by contact. Though the Colts try to cover up the football. Chris Reese actually was down at the bottom of the pile with it. 24 yards on the return, and on the tackle for the Colts, it was Tim Jennings. We have 7:22 to play opening quarter, and the Colts are on top of the Saints here in Super Bowl 44, 3-0. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Hey, Saints fans, kick off your next paint project by going straight to the pros at Lowe's, the official home improvement warehouse of the New Orleans Saints and the Louisiana Superdome. Lowe's has the know-how, supplies, and high-quality paint like Valspar to help you transform any room, all at everyday low prices. Stop by today and get your paint project started. Lowe's, let's build something together.
We interrupt this broadcast with this special report. Giant crabs, shrimp, and oysters have been captured around New Orleans. Anyone that can help consume these giant seafood delicacies should contact Deanie's Seafood.
They don't make radio like that anymore. But there is a place that's just like old times. Deanie's Seafood. For over 40 years, they've been serving giant portions of the best boiled, broiled, and fried seafood around. Come enjoy that great food and some of the friendly folks that help make New Orleans special. Deanie's Seafood in Bucktown and just a block off Bourbon in the Quarter.
This Valentine's Day, the ideal place to buy that special gift is Fisher's Jewelry on Canal Street. Since 1962, Fisher's Jewelry on Canal has satisfied customers with unique jewelry creations at affordable prices. Fisher's invites you to come on in and discover the excellent value, wide selection, and the friendly service of their family-owned business. Surprise your Valentine with a real rose that has been treated and preserved in 24-karat gold, just $49 each. Fisher's has the best rings, watches, and bracelets, all perfect for remembering your Valentine. Fisher's Jewelry, 1036 Canal Street.
Check out Bobby Hebert's blog and exclusive Saints stories at WWL.com.
Gerard Powers was announced as the starter at right corner. He's coming off a left foot injury suffered against the Ravens back on January 16th. There was some doubt about his availability, though he was listed as a starter. Jacob Lacey is on the corner on the right side for him right now, and it was Lacey, a rookie out of Oklahoma State, that the Saints tested on the long passing attempt to Meacham that was overthrown on the first possession by Breeze.
And Meacham actually had a step on Lacey out there. Just the ball was a little overthrown on part of Drew Brees.
Breeze to throw again on first down, pulls it down, throws a second time, and this is Pierre Thomas, who is unable to bring it in as he's covered by the middle linebacker, Gary Brackett. The Saints failing 3 and out on their first possession. They've only converted 3 of their last 13 third down conversions, dating back to their problems in the second half against the Vikings. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Saints with the football resting at their 27-yard line. Zach Strief goes in motion. Here's a quick slant, and this is Colston, who is hit immediately at the 30-yard line. This will be a short gain as Colston makes his first reception, and it is Jacob Lacey that they go after once more, and it'll be a short gain for the Saints. And Reggie Bush in the lineup hasn't seen the football as yet. That is a 4-yard gain, and it brings up 3rd and a short 7 from the 30-yard line. Breeze in the shotgun puts Henderson in motion left to right. Now Breeze checks off and changes the play. The Colts adjust with the middle linebacker Brackett moving from left to right. Here's Breeze, going to drop it off to Reggie Bush, and this is Bush up to the 40, on his feet, 45, upended around the 47-yard line. Reggie Bush touches the football for the first time tonight, and that's a nice gain of 27 yards with Antoine Bethea, the free safety, making the tackle.
Well, I'm sure you got the questions all week long just like I did. Media from around the country want to know, what Reggie Bush are we going to see in this game? You're going to see the dynamic playmaker, or are you going to see the guy that comes out there, doesn't touch the football? Well, you know, Drew Brees has got a lot to say with how much Reggie Bush touches it, but he's also a guy that's kind of made for these primetime games.
1st and 10 for the Saints. The football rests at the New Orleans 47. They trail 3-0. Here's a handoff to Bush, right side. Stiff arms a tackler, takes on another, and is forced to the near sideline and pushed out of bounds in front of the Colts bench by Jacob Lacey. And so the Saints picking up 4 yards on the Bush carry. And he did take on a tackler with a stiff arm, and then Lacey once more running harder than we have seen him certainly in the regular season is Reggie Bush. 2nd and 7 with the ball at midfield. David Thomas goes in motion. Play action with Breeze. Looks left, throws over the middle, wide open, and Colston drops the ball. At the 36-yard line, Marcus Colston wide open, and he's the guy that's kind of been fighting the football recently, and boy, he is upset with himself, and he needs to be.
Well, I mean, that is a classic case right here of trying to run before you catch it. Marcus Colston is sure-handed as he usually is. He knows he's wide open. He's looking to make a big play in the middle of the field, and you can see his head turn just as the ball gets there.
He was in a big cavity in that secondary. Nobody was within about 5 yards of him. And so we'll bring up 3rd and 7 with the ball at midfield. 2 receivers bunched to the left. They are Henderson and Colston. To the right, it's Meacham. Here's Breeze looking right, stepping up, throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Colston was really well covered by the strong safety Melvin Bullitt. Very little window there for Drew Brees to fit it into.
You know, it kind of looks to me like Drew might be rushing just a little bit. I think he's got more time than he thinks he's got. His offensive line is doing a good job of forming that pocket, and all he needs to do is step up in it.
Brees is just 3 out of 7 for 27 yards. Thomas Morstead comes on to punt it away for a second time. TJ Rushing back deep for the Colts, stands inside the Indianapolis 10. Morstead hangs it high. Rushing looks up in the sky and lets it hit at the 5, and the Saints are going to cover it up with Courtney Roby again, doing some damage against his former teammates. That's down around. We'll see where they'll spot the football. The 4-yard line at the far end of the field. 46 yards on the Morstead effort. Timeout on the field. 5:12 to play. Opening quarter. It's the Colts 3 and the Saints nothing. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Listen up, fans. Bobby Hebert here, telling you that in all my years of professional football, I've never seen a better way to stay connected to the latest football news, scores, and highlights than with AT&T, the fastest 3G network in New Orleans. For just $15 a month, AT&T Mobile Web gives you unlimited access to the internet, so I can constantly keep up with the latest stats and player updates. Or use AT&T Unlimited Messaging to send texts, instant messages, and pictures to everyone from your tailgate party. AT&T, your world delivered.
3G not available in all areas. Basic service plan required. Certain geographic and other monthly charges and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Our feature presentation.
It's back. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. It's the Louisiana Lottery's $1 Million Raffle, and it's your best odds to win $1 million.
Show me the money.
Will you be one of hundreds to win $500 or one of 5 to win $50,000?
It smells like victory.
Or the newest Louisiana millionaire.
I'm king of the world.
Find out April 15th, because when they're gone, they're gone. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
Hokie Gajan here for Napa Auto Parts with a big shout out to the Black and Gold for winning their first ever NFC championship. Like a well-tuned vehicle, the Saints have cruised on down to South Florida with just one more game to play. From the coaches and front office, players and support staff, the Black and Gold have made us all very proud. Good luck, Saints, from your friends at Napa, proud sponsors of this special Super Bowl broadcast on the Saints Radio Network.
Get the good stuff!
Follow the Saints on Twitter with the news, talk, and sports leader, WWL.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Stanley, Reuter, Ross, Thornton, and Alford, business litigators for New Orleans and the Gulf South region.
Looking back on the Saints offensively, 9 plays have netted them just 32 total yards. They've thrown it 7 times, and they've run it twice. And I agree with you. Drew's probably a little bit nervous. The adrenaline's flowing, and I agree with you that he does have more time than he thinks he has.
And again, I mean, the Colts are basically just coming with their 4-man rush, and I think that he's just pressing a little bit too much right now.
Colts will open in an I formation of Brown and Hart behind Manning on 1st and 10 from the Indianapolis 4-yard line. So Adai sits this one out at least initially. Play action. Shutting up the screen. And this is going to be Donald Brown. Donald Brown, the 2nd-round draft choice, or rather the 1st-round draft choice out of Connecticut, with a nice pickup, good for 11 yards, and just like that, the Colts are out of a hole from their own 4-yard line.
And that's not really a play that you see an awful lot coming out of when you're backed up to your own end zone, is a screen, because you know, a lot of things can happen right there. That if somebody busts an assignment, you get a player right in the face of the quarterback. He's standing back here in the end zone. But really, it's a play that'll catch you off guard backed up that deep.
1st and 10 Colts from their 15-yard line. 4:34 to play first quarter. They lead 3-0. He moves in the pocket, does Manning, and throws it wide of Donald Brown. And the Saints with the pass rush, Bobby McCray dumping Manning after the ball's delivered.
That should be the 3rd time right there that Peyton Manning's been hit and knocked to the ground. And again, it's been said all week long after the statements that Greg Williams made, you can expect those referees to be keeping a close eye on that. Right there, the official was right on top of it, didn't call anything.
So 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard line of the Colts. Joseph Adai checks back in as Manning goes to the shotgun. Standing to Manning's left. To the right are Garcon, along with Austin Collie. To the left, Reggie Wayne. Tracy Porter up on him. Here's Manning handing it off to Adai. Huge hole up the middle. And Adai is going to have to be taken down by Roman Harper, the strong safety, up at the 30-yard line. Big hole open there, and Adai benefits on a 15-yard carry. Jonathan Vilma missed him at the line of scrimmage.
Well, you know, you hear that Dwight Freeney, that his responsibility is he plays the run on his way to the quarterback. I don't think the Saints have that luxury in this particular ball game. You're going to have to maintain your gaps and be responsible for things like that. Even though the Colts were pretty poor in the rushing department this season. They can beat you with the run. Joseph Adai is a quality back.
So it is 1st and 10 from the Colt 31. This drive started at their 4. Manning a nice play-action fake, throws to the near sideline, and for a change, he and Reggie Wayne not nearly on the same page. Wayne had broken it inside. The ball was thrown to the boundary. Tracy Porter on the coverage. And Manning went down once more after delivering that pass. So that's the whole idea, as you mentioned, of the Greg Williams defense. The cumulative hits on the quarterback. The sacks don't necessarily mean anything. It's more the pressure and the hits, as they did so on Kurt Warner and Brett Favre, sacking them cumulatively just once. On 2nd and 10 from his 31. Scoreboard hasn't been right yet on the downs up to my left. It says 3rd down. Here's a handoff to Adai. He's got running room left side, and he'll be taken down on the boundary, but it looks like he's picked up the 1st down. Darren Sharper takes him down after he crosses the Colt 40-yard line. Jonathan Vilma in there as well, and that's another Colt 1st down on a 10-yard carry.
And let's go right down to Kristian Garic.
Hokie and Jim, there's something that Peyton Manning sees in the Saints defense, because that's twice he's audible on this drive and changed from a pass, what looked to be a pass, to a running play.
Donald Brown checks back in. As it is 1st and 10 at the Colt 42. 3:17 to play opening quarter. Here's a throw to the near sideline, and Reggie Wayne with his first reception. Scott Shanley chases him out of bounds in front of the Colt bench after a 5-yard gain. Reggie Wayne, the John Ehret High School graduate, against the Bears in the Super Bowl here 3 Super Bowls ago, had 2 catches for 61 yards, including a 53-yard touchdown in the first quarter of that game. 2nd down and 5 from the Colt 47. Manning up under center, hands it off Brown, right side, a little bit of running room. Jonathan Vilma brings him down as he gets into Saint territory to the 49-yard line. That is a pickup of 4. Donald Brown is a rookie out of Connecticut, 1st-round draft choice, 5'10" and 210. Averaged just 3.6 yards per carry in the regular season on 78 attempts. So far, Manning has had the Saints defense back on their heels.
Well, I mean, you notice what he does, Jim. Even though he gets up there to the line of scrimmage quick, he gets back there. He does a lot of moving around, directing traffic, audible, and whatever. I don't know what all he's doing back there, but the ball is never snapped until it gets inside of 5 seconds.
3rd and 1 from the Saint 49. Adai runs and still runs to the 30, down to the 25, and inside the 25-yard line before he is taken down. Scott Fujita there, along with Jabari Greer making the tackle, but a big run by Adai for 26 yards. Now again, this is a team that was 32nd and dead last running the football during the regular season. Tackle was missed by Darren Sharper. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Colts at the Saint 23-yard line. 1:32 to play, opening quarter. Colts on top 3-0, and nearly back in the red zone once more. Donald Brown, the lone setback. Play action to him. Manning with time. Throws near sideline, and it's incomplete. He delivered that football quickly because of the rush of Jonathan Vilma. Manning had to throw it before he wanted to.
Well, and it's 2 times that he's gone to Reggie Wayne out there on the outside where he's just, it's been a poor throw. One, it was miscommunication between he and Reggie Wayne. That time right there, as you said, the Saints are getting some pressure on Peyton, and he's forced to throw the ball much earlier than he wants to.
2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line of the Saints. Colts on top 3-0. Manning retreats to the shotgun, stamps his foot once, comes up to the line of scrimmage, talks to his running back, that is Donald Brown. Motions to his left and ducks back under Saturday at center. Handoff Brown. Donald Brown running straight ahead inside the 20-yard line. Anthony Hargrove in on the tackle. And that'll be a gain of 3. So the Colts now have the football at the 19-yard line. They are 2nd in touchdown percentage in the red zone this season, and 3 out of 4 in 3rd down conversions. This will be 3rd and 6 from the Saint 18-yard line. Manning in the shotgun. peers into the Saints defensive backfield. Sets, throws into the end zone. Garcon, touchdown. He beat Usama Young. He beat Roman Harper. And the Colts, who are so devastating in the red zone, come through once more. That is a 19-yard touchdown reception.
All right, Jim, right there you had Usama Young out at the cornerback, and you also had Malcolm Jenkins in there as the nickelback playing on the slot. And Peyton Manning, instead of letting the clock run down like he's been doing, he saw that matchup out there. The first play Usama Young's in there. He said, let me get my speed guy and just go over the top with it.
One of the few times this season that you see wide receivers running behind the Saints secondary. And the Colts, in a very impressive beginning to this game, look to add their 10th point. With Stover kicking it, they do. And a first quarter that's been dominated by the Colts has just 36 seconds remaining in it. It is the Indianapolis Colts 10 and the New Orleans Saints nothing. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network. Super Bowl 44. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
The news, talk, and sports leader. The Big 870 WWL New Orleans, 105.3 WWL FM Kenner New Orleans, and WWL.com.
We don't often see Usama Young in the corner.
Well, and as soon as he got out there, Jabari Greer got hit, and he was slow to get up on the long run that Joseph Adai had, and then I guess he was over there by the Saints bench and just slipped off there, and they got Usama Young out there on the field to play his cornerback position. As soon as Peyton Manning looked at him, he had him snap the ball, and Garcon ran the deep route.
Here's McAfee's kickoff. 3 yards deep in the end zone to Roby. He'll come out with it. He's up to the 20 and taken down around the 21-yard line as a flag is thrown around the 29. 24 yards on the return. Jacob Tammy on the tackle.
Well, that's going to be holding against the Saints, and that's going to back them up, baby. That's probably one that Roby shouldn't have brought out of the end zone 3 yards deep. Does get it past the 20, but they got a holding penalty.
Receiving team, number 52, 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
That is Jonathan Casillas, who gets more than his share of penalties on special teams. So a timeout on the field in a first quarter dominated by the Colts. 30 seconds remain. It is Indianapolis 10 and New Orleans nothing. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
The lawyers at Stanley, Reuter, Ross, Thornton, and Alford know the value of academic excellence. That's why they're sponsoring their Partners for Education initiative to support local schools. Listen to Rick Stanley.
I grew up here and received a fine education in local public schools. Like the Saints, we want the children in our community to be champions today. This week, we will sponsor a donation to John McDonough Senior High School to promote excellence in local education.
Stanley, Reuter, Ross, Thornton, and Alford. Business litigators for New Orleans and the Gulf South region.
Treat yourself to the ultimate sleep experience at Bedding Plus. Stearns & Foster, a heritage of style and comfort since 1846, blends premium materials with the highest comfort and support available to make beds that are as luxurious on the inside as they are on the outside. And for a limited time, you can save 40%. Bedding Plus carries 7 comfort levels of the new Estate Collection. For all the details and the location nearest you, visit beddingplusmattress.com.
Ray Branch Nissan has a goal. Sell 20 new Nissans tomorrow. It's the final day of the Super Goal. Hustle to Harvey to Ray Branch Nissan and get the new 2010 Altima for $17,995. How low will Ray Branch Nissan go on the price of a new maxed out Maxima? He could go all the way. Only $25,988. Tomorrow only at Ray Branch Nissan during the final day of the Super Goal. On the Palco Boulevard next to Home Depot and Walmart in Harvey and at RayBranchNissan.com.
Live, local, and still #1. The news, talk, and sports leader, WWL.
Welcome back to Sun Life Stadium. Let's go right down to Kristian Garic with the River Parish Disposal Saints Sideline Report.
Hokie, whatever was bothering Jabari Greer, whatever happened, he looks to be all right. He's up moving around. He's got his helmet on, so I don't think it's anything significant.
Well, when Usama Young came in there for him, he tried to jam Garcon at the line and totally whiffed on him. And Garcon made a quick break off the line of scrimmage, and Young just could not catch up.
Jim, you talked about the Colts dominating the first half. Colts have 154 total yards of offense to the Saints 32.
First and 10 for the Saints at their 11-yard line. Mike Bell checks into the lineup. Didn't see him at all against the Vikings in the NFC Championship game, but he gets the carry here. And Bell, running hard as he always does, is stopped around the 15-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4. Middle linebacker Gary Brackett on the stop.
Well, they still haven't run anything at Dwight Freeney. Everything they've run so far has been to the right side. It's hard to blame them. You got a Pro Bowl guard and a Pro Bowl tackle and a Pro Bowl center right there from the middle to the right. So, heck, you just figure they're trying to run behind their strength.
The Saints are going to let the final seconds of the first quarter come off the clock and regroup on the sideline because it's been an opening quarter dominated by the Colts on both sides of the football. And going into the second, they will hold a 10-0 advantage. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Hi, this is Sean Payton, head coach of your New Orleans Saints. For my friends at First Bank and Trust, does your bank treat you like a first-ring customer? And is your checking account free checking? Because it's not just kind of free, it's totally free. At First Bank and Trust, your goals come first.
Sign up for First Bank and Trust totally free checking today and get your Saints debit card and a free Saints tailgating chair. At First Bank and Trust, your goals come first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
South Coast Solar would like to congratulate the Black and Gold for winning the conference championship. South Coast Solar provides dependable, renewable energy for your home or business. With state and federal tax credits, there's never been a better time to go solar. Whether you live in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, or the North Shore, going solar is more affordable than ever. So give us a call today for a free estimate at 504-529-SUN9. That's 504-529-7869. Or visit us on the web at southcoastsolar.com. And you can finish strong.
Are you ready? Are you really ready? Are you ready to watch some football?
See the big game on this 82-inch Mitsubishi home theater TV. Get $1,000 rebate during A1's Flat Panel Super Sale. 6,000 Dow, Louisiana employees are going the extra mile to impact lives and to tell communities in Louisiana they care. The people of Dow in Louisiana are applying science to improve human conditions. At Dow, Louisiana, they want to make a difference and touch lives. Visit dowlouisiana.com to learn more.
Like what you heard on WWL? Check out the podcast at WWL.com.
Welcome back to Sun Life Stadium. Hoka, no doubt, I think, that the Saints suffering through some first appearance jitters in the Super Bowl.
Well, you look back just on the last series that they had the ball, how costly that drop was that Marcus Colston had. It was wide open right there in the middle, tried to run before he caught the ball. They would have given him an easy first down. You'd have been down there moving toward the red zone of the Colts. If nothing else, come out of there with a field goal try. You're just down by 10 points right now. I mean, Peyton Manning took advantage of a mismatch on the outside with Usama Young. All the Saints have to do right now, you got your first quarter behind you. Like you said, get rid of those jitters and just come out and play like you know how to. It's just the mistakes that the Saints have made to this point.
In the first quarter, the Saints had 1 first down to the Colts 8, 9 rushing yards to the Colts 66. And this is a football team that during the regular season only gained 81 per game, 27 passing yards to 88 for the Colts, 36 total yards to 154 for Indianapolis. First and 10. Make that 2nd and 6 as we've changed ends of the field. 2nd and 6 from the 15-yard line. Play action Breeze pumps once, now throws right side. Colston makes this catch beyond the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jacob Lacey brings him down, along with Clint Session, the weak side linebacker.
Well, that time the Saints kind of had what you'd call their running formation in there. Zach Strief was in there. He checks in with the official, had him lined up on the offensive left side just outside the tackle, and he and Jamon Bushrod were on a double team with Dwight Freeney.
11-yard gain brings up 1st and 10 at the Saint 26-yard line. Just underway in the second quarter, the Saints trailing 10-0. Breeze out of the shotgun, hands it off inside Bush. Reggie Bush makes a move and is taken down short of the 35-yard line by the free safety Antoine Bethea.
Well, that's Reggie's 3rd carry now, and he's caught a pass, and I like what I'm seeing, that he's making that quick decision. He's not trying to run to the sidelines like he did earlier in the year. He's playing the way he did against the Cardinals. Make that quick up-the-field decision.
An 8-yard gain brings up 2nd and 2 at the Saint 34-yard line. Breeze up under center. The tailback is Bush. the fullback, Thomas. Bush gets the call right side, trying to turn the corner. He'll get to the boundary on the far sideline with a late flag thrown. Bush may have been hit late.
Either hit late or somebody may have grabbed his face mask. Hard to tell. It's way over there on that Saints bench, but the flag went out. It'll definitely be against the Colts.
Our referee tonight is Scott Green.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 50 defense, hit out of bounds, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That is strong side linebacker Philip Wheeler, second-year man out of Georgia Tech. 2 penalties against the Colts in this game. Good for 20 yards, and the Saints got a little something going here.
Well, I mean, that 15-yard penalty right there is huge. I mean, that puts the ball right now right at midfield. So puts the Saints in great position with a first down here. And again, Sean Payton kind of doing the same thing. If he's trying to find out who's got the hot hand in this game, the running back, he's got Pierre Thomas there. He saw Mike Bell on the first play, then saw Reggie for a couple of plays. Now Pierre.
1st and 10 from midfield. Play action Breeze. Looks to his right, throws it to Pierre Thomas, and he bounces off a tackle, stays on his feet, and fights his way down to the 40-yard line. What a great effort by Pierre Thomas as he broke a pair of tackles. Kelvin Hayden brings him down.
Well, you know, I thought it was really great what Sean Payton said about Pierre Thomas early in the week. He said, you always know what you're going to get from the guy.
That is good for 9 yards and brings up 2nd and 1 at the Colt 41-yard line. Saints will hurry things up, give it to Pierre Thomas, shrugs off a tackle, and tries to get inside the 40 before he's stacked up and thrown backward by Gary Brackett.
But they mark it just on this side of the 40, and I think that's enough for the first down.
Gary Brackett, a free agent acquired in 2003, 7th-year man out of Rutgers. That is a 1-yard gain, and the chains do move.
I mean, that's what you need to do right now. It just, I mean, you're gaining some confidence, running the football. Drew's got plenty of time. He's hitting the short passes, so you get this thing down there, get some points.
1st and 10 from the Colt 39-yard line. Meacham goes in motion left to right. He's over there with Colston and also with Henderson. Shockey in the near side. Here's Breeze throwing over the middle. Colston with the catch down to around the 28-yard line. Marcus Colston had a costly drive, or a costly drop early, but that will be good for a 10-yard reception. Gary Brackett on the stop, and the chains move once more.
And Dwight Freeney coming off. Well, watch right there. He puts the spin move on Jamon Bushrod and just completely screws him on that.
Number 64, reporting eligible. Number 64.
Zach Streif back in there to provide blocking help. Again tonight, the Saints with only 2 tight ends available to them, Jeremy Shockey and David Thomas. Colston now 3 catches for 25 yards. 1st and 10 from the Colt 28-yard line. Streif in motion. Handoff. This is going to be sweeping to the near side, Pierre Thomas, and Thomas is stacked up and driven to the boundary and out of bounds. Jacob Lacey coming up to provide the tackle. Pierre Thomas tweeted some of his fans. I saw the message earlier today talking about how he was so motivated by the fact that he was a free agent. So many people told him he couldn't play in this league. He was motivated by that, and here he is in Super Bowl 44. He heads to the sideline now as the Saints will look at 2nd and 10. Closer to 11 from the 28-yard line. Reggie Bush, the lone setback. Thomas comes in motion right to left. Play action Breeze. Breeze steps up, avoids the sack, dumps it off Henderson. Henderson pirouettes and dives inside the 25 down to around the 23-yard line. Middle linebacker Gary Brackett on the stop. That's good for 6 yards.
And that time it was not Dwight Freeney that was applying the pressure. It was Mathis coming from the other side, I believe. And Drew does a nice job of just ducking out of that thing. And you see those Colts defensive ends, they got that spin move down.
They do. Mathis with 9.5 sacks on the season. Freeney with 13.5, both undersized but quick as cats. Saints 1 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. Looking at 3rd and 4 here from the Colt 23. Breeze in the shotgun. Steps up. And he's going to be taken down from behind. Dwight Freeney came in and got him, grabbed him around the shoulder pads, and threw him down to the turf around the 30-yard line for the first sack of this game.
And all Dwight Freeney does here, that's just a bull rush. He just gets underneath the pads of Jermon Bushrod, pushes him straight back, and then when Drew steps up in the huddle, he disengages from Bushrod and gets the sack.
And so on will come the NFC Championship game hero, Garrett Hartley, to attempt a 47-yard field goal. Bushrod comes on belatedly. Saints only had 10 players on the field. 47-yard attempt, right hash mark, snap, placement, kick is on its way, and it is good.
There you go.
The Saints are on the scoreboard on a 47-yard Garrett Hartley field goal. With 9:34 remaining in the second quarter, it's now the Colts 10 and the Saints 3. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
A uniform says a lot about who you are. Take a professional hockey player. In uniform, a committed athlete. Take it away, he's just a guy beating people with a stick. Uniforms can say a lot about your employees, too. We're Cintas, the uniform people, and it's our job to make your employees look and feel great. Call Cintas at 1-800-CINTAS-1. With Cintas uniforms, your employees will look like a team of professionals. Without them, well, go take a look for yourself.
Hey, tell me something, mister.
Yeah, it's Mardi Gras, baby. There's nothing like carnival season in Louisiana. Now you can be part of the tradition with the lottery's new Mardi Gras scratch-offs. Zulu went up to $10,000, and Purple, Green, and Gold went up to $3,000.
Now that's a tradition down here. Hey, throw me some beans.
Celebrate the Mardi Gras season with Zulu and Purple, Green, and Gold from the lottery. Rich in tradition.
Oh, remember, you must be at least 21 to purchase.
We've waited a lifetime for this. The World Championship is on the line, and the New Orleans Black and Gold are going to do us proud, and the entire Bill Hood team of dealerships is on their side. We're a leader in World Championship prices, service, and selection. So rush in to Bill Hood Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, and Hammond. Bill Hood Nissan, Mazda, and Hyundai on the import corner in Hammond. Bill Hood Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Amite, or Hood Northlake Chevrolet in Covington. The Bill Hood team of dealerships supports our Black and Gold 100%. Visit hoodauto.com. Join Tommy Tucker for the night shift, weeknights 8 to midnight on WWL.
Well, the Saints settling down somewhat, go 60 yards in 11 plays in 6 minutes and 2 seconds. Officially now, they've changed it to a 46-yard Garrett Hartley field goal as the Saints get on the board and trail 10-3 on that drive. Breeze was 4 of 4 for 36 yards. On the night, he's 7 of 11 for 63.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious right now that Sean Payton's going to have to keep Zach Streif in there in that jumbo formation that they got, or they're going to have to use a back to help stay in and chip on Freeney, because what he's doing, he's keeping Bushrod off balance. He'll do the speed rush around the corner one time, then he'll come back with the spin move, and then he'll come back with the bull rush like he did right there. And Jamon really don't know what to do because that speed and quickness, it doesn't appear to me that Freeney is suffering any from that ankle injury, although they are substituting for him quite a bit. I guess they probably try and keep him fresh.
And Bushrod perhaps so shaken up by Freeney that he was off the field and on the sideline and came on belatedly to protect for the Garrett Hartley field goal. So the Saints will kick it away for the first time tonight, and Chad Simpson awaits the Garrett Hartley, or rather the Thomas Morstead kickoff. Has one touchdown on the season, a 93-yard return. From 1 yard deep in the end zone, he'll bring it out to the 10, to the 15, running near side, trying to turn the corner, and he's taken down as he crosses the 20-yard line. Roman Harper was down there, and he made the tackle after a 23-yard return. A timeout on the field with 9:27 remaining before the half, and the Saints trailing the Colts by a score of 10-3. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
In New Orleans, we have carnival balls, debutante balls, snowballs, high balls, screw balls, and odd balls. We've got balls. That's why New Orleans is a Harley town. Ride with pride. Hit the streets on a new 2010 Harley-Davidson model for just $199 a month. That's a new full-size 2010 Harley-Davidson model for $199 a month for qualified buyers. Visit the largest Harley-Davidson showroom in the Gulf South. New Orleans Harley-Davidson, Airline Drive in Metairie or Lapalco Boulevard in Harvey.
South Coast Solar would like to congratulate the Black and Gold for winning the conference championship. South Coast Solar provides dependable, renewable energy for your home or business. With state and federal tax credits, there's never been a better time to go solar. Whether you live in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, or the North Shore, go Going solar is more affordable than ever. So give us a call today for a free estimate at 504-529-SUN9. That's 504-529-7869. Or visit us on the web at southcoastsolar.com. And you can finish strong.
Hokie Gajan here with a special offer for my friends at Subway Restaurants, the official tailgating partner for the New Orleans Saints. Stop by your local store and pick up the Sub of the Day deal, where you can get a 6-inch sub, 32-ounce drink, and a bag of chips for only $4.50. A fresh value meal for only $4.50 at any Subway restaurant, and each day the sub is different, so you can try them all. And don't forget, they have those famous $5 footlongs every day. With 8 to choose from, there's sure to be one to please. Over 160 Subway restaurants, locally owned and operated. Subway, play hard, eat fresh. Excludes premium sub. Prices and participation may vary.
Home of Prep Football Roundup, Friday nights on WWL.
We're back at Sun Life Stadium, and let's take it right down to Kristian Garic for our River Paris Disposal State Sideline Report. Gomer?
I don't know if you guys can see it, but several Saints players covering that kick slipped down, and the turf is starting to get a little slippery. The temperature's dropping a little bit, causing the turf causing them to lose their footing a little bit. They might want to maybe look at changing their cleats.
1st and 10 for the Colts from their 22-yard line. They're on top of the Saints 10-3, opened up a 10-0 lead in the first quarter. Manning in the shotgun, Garcon to his right, Dallas Clark along with Reggie Wayne to his left. Now Manning comes up under center, play action, feeling some pressure from Charleston. He'll dump it off Adai. Adai will be taken down by Shanley, but not before. He may have picked up first down on the near sideline in front of the Colt bench. Adai has been a very useful performer here for the Colts.
Well, right here when it's Peyton Manning, it looks like it's supposed to be a screen, but there's no blocker out in front of him. Jabari Greer comes up there, as Kristian just mentioned. His feet came out from underneath him. He completely whipped on Joseph Adai, and then Scott Shanley jumps on his back, and Adai carries him down the field.
9-yard gain brings up 2nd and 1 at the Colt 31. Ace formation. Handoff Adai, right side, and he'll be hit and dropped by Jonathan Vilma. A loss on the play. Adai, prior to that, had 5 carries for 58 yards, and on their last drive, 3 carries for 53. That will be a loss of 2. And will set up 3rd down. 3rd and 4 from the Colt 28-yard line. Manning in the shotgun, and the fans come to life. Collie in motion. Here's Manning going to throw over the middle, and it's dropped by Garcon right in front of Jabari Greer at the 45-yard line as Scott Fujita and Jeff Charleston applied the pressure on Manning, and the Saints starting to get some traction now offensively and defensively, and you can see it along their bench. Their spirits are picked up.
Well, I tell you what, it's a great job right there by the Colts of picking up that blitz. The Saints were coming from the outside with a corner blitz. The running back stayed in, and he was just kind of peeking around, going from linebacker, working his way inside and out, picked up the blitzer, and that's what allowed Peyton the opportunity to get it downfield. Lucky it's just a drop ball.
No one has ever returned a punt for a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and Reggie Bush won't do it here as he is calling for a fair catch and makes it. A nice effort by McAfee. A 7th-round rookie draft choice out of West Virginia. 45 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. We'll step aside with 8:14 remaining in the second quarter. And the Colts on top of the Saints 10-3. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Here's Todd Trusclair, CEO of All-Star Electric.
We're proud of our brand new service location at All-Star Electric. The new service location is at 821 Little Farms Avenue in Metairie. No job is too big or too small for the All-Star Electric Service Department.
From commercial work to multifamily units, healthcare, hospital work, retail complexes, and your home. Let All-Star Electric earn your business. Call 504-466-3303. All-Star Electric, lighting New Orleans.
Find everything under the sun. Brighten your life with area attractions, arts, and tourism information. Plan your days and weekends with fishing, hunting, and golf course guides. Relax, eat out, and enjoy life with menu and dining guides. Plan some fun with local sports and theater seating charts with your best source, Sunshine Pages phone book. Local, complete, in print, and online at sunshinepages.com. Sunshine Pages. Find everything under the sun.
S&H Engine Services, the only locally owned full-service Cummins Marine and Industrial dealer in Terrebonne Parish, would like to congratulate the Black and Gold on a fantastic season and wish them luck in the big game. S&H Engine Services, your local option for Cummins diesel engine repair. They provide 24-hour on-site solutions for diesel engine repair using quality, genuine Cummins replacement parts. Call 985-857-8006. S&H Engine Services. If you can't come to them, they'll come to you. Who dat?
People you trust. Bob Del Giorno, weekday morning 6 to 10 on WWL.
Okay. Tonight's game is brought to you by SouthCoastSolar.com. Dependable, renewable energy.
Well, this is the matchup that everybody had been anticipating since about the 6th or 7th week of the season. The Saints off to a 13-0 start. The Colts off to a 14-0 start. But the Colts, having been here with 25 players on their current roster to Super Bowl 41, perhaps showed that experience in the opening quarter when the Saints appeared to be a bit nervous and a bit tight. Since then, they've settled down somewhat and cut a 10-0 deficit to 10-3. First and 10, Saints from their 28. Handing it off. No, it's a good play fake, but a poor throw in the direction of Shockey is tipped up at the air and incomplete. It was a good play fake to Bush, and Shockey targeted for the first time tonight.
And that ball was well overthrown. And again, I mean, I think that, that time Bushrod, it got some help on the double team there with Carl Nix on Dwight Freeney out there. And I think Drew probably just rushed that throw a little bit.
Thrown high, and Antoine Bethea from his free safety position got his hand on it, but it fell to the turf incomplete. Second and 10 from the Saint 28. Thomas goes in motion left to right. Breeze play action. Going to throw out to the left side. Pierre Thomas with the catch, and he's forced out of bounds in front of the Colt bench. We're screened from where he actually did so by the players standing there. Raheem Brock forces him to the sideline.
Well, Jim, did you see what the Saints did right there? They had Jonathan Stinchcomb lined up at the left tackle, and they had Jory Evans out there, and they put Zach Streif over at the right tackle.
They say it is a pickup to the 35-yard line, setting up 3rd and 3. Saints are pretty much abandoning the run here for the time being, at least. Here's Breeze, going to throw. Catch made by Colston. Colston stays on his feet. He's beyond the 45, up to around the 47-yard line, and that will be a Saint first down. So after an initial drop in which Colston was very hard on himself, he's settled down as well and contributing to this offense. That's a 12-yard gain. The coverage provided by Tim Jennings, and the tackle made by Melvin Bullitt, the strong safety. So it is 1st and 10 for the Saints at their 48-yard line. 7 minutes remaining before halftime, and the Saints trailing 10-3. Here's a handoff to Reggie Bush, who slips down running left side before he can make much of a move. Gary Brackett, the middle linebacker, in on the stop. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the New Orleans Saints radio network.
The news, talk, and sports leader. The Big 870 WWL New Orleans, 105.3 WWL FM Kenner New Orleans, and WWL.com.
Just a single yard on the play brings up 2nd and 9 from the Saint 49-yard line. Henderson split out wide to the right. To the near side, it's Colston. Shockey comes in motion. The running back is Bush. Here's Breeze dropping, throwing, and a diving reception made by Shockey, who's hit hard while he lies on the ground, and by Brackett, and they get up pushing and shoving at one another. The catch is made inside the 45-yard line, down to around the 44. That'll be a pickup of 7.
Jim, you mentioned, in the pregame about nobody really gave anybody any bulletin board material this week. However, I did notice quite a few reporters around Jeremy Shockey because they figured if one of the Saints or one of the Colts was going to give somebody some of that material, it probably would have been Shockey.
But he didn't. He bit his tongue all week long. The Saints 2 of 5 in third down conversions, looking at 3rd and 2 from the Colt 44. Breeze out of the shotgun. Throws near side. Lance Moore wide open. 35. Down to the 30. Making a move inside the 25 and pushed out of bounds. Welcome back, Lance Moore. Melvin Bullitt on the tackle.
Boy, I mean, he was a guy that was really missed this year. Even though the Saints, they had that 13-0 start, they still had the high-powered offense. Just remember how reliable he was last year. And just doing things like this, those little nifty moves in the open field to get yards after the catch.
That's a 20-yard gain. Kelvin Hayden missed him. And Lance Moore was able to take it downfield farther. They'll spot the football at the 23-yard line of the Colts. 1st and 10 Saints. They trail 10-3. Breeze up under center, puts Streif in motion. On the end around, this is Devery Henderson, forced way into the backfield and pushed out of bounds. Great penetration by Antoine Bethea, the free safety, who had it read all the way.
I mean, the only problem I've got with that reverse right there is you talk about what team speed that the Colts have on defense. A slow developing play like that, especially as deep as Devery had to get. Devery actually does a pretty good job of not losing more yardage than he did. It looks like they're probably right now in about a 2nd and 17 situation where Devery was probably at one point at least probably 10-12 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Loss of about 6 on the play will bring up 2nd and 17 from the 30. Breeze goes to the shotgun. Standing to his left is Reggie Bush. Split out to the near sideline. It's Shockey. Here's Breeze thrown over the middle. Colston with a catch. He's to the 10, inside the 5 to around the 3-yard line. 1st and goal for the Saints on a 26-yard reception.
Well, Marcus Colston's starting to get in the groove of this thing. After he catches the ball, he's turning it upfield, and he's starting to deliver some punishment to those guys in the Colts secondary. Turning around, slapping guys with his hands, putting his head down, and just getting all the yardage that he can.
Pushed Antoine Bethea away from him, enabling him to pick up about 6 more yards. So the Saints 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. We have 3:49 remaining before halftime. The Saints trailing 10-3. Mike Bell is the running back. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Rolling to his right is Breeze, throwing right flat. Lance Moore. He'll be taken down for a loss on the play, it would appear, of about a yard. Kelvin Hayden on the stop, the left corner. That will be a 1-yard loss.
Well, I guess right there what you're trying to do is catch the Colts off guard a little bit. Mike Bell is usually your short yardage goal line specialist. He comes in the game. The Saints just run that little skinny flat route out there, and Lance Moore's just got nowhere to go.
No, as he turned it upfield, Hayden was on his back immediately. So it will be 2nd and goal. The ball spotted at the 3-yard line. Meacham in motion. Movement up front, and it looks like this is Streif who moved. Coming across to touch him was Raheem Brock.
Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So the Saints penalized for the 2nd time tonight. They have been penalized for 15 yards overall. So a loss on a short pass to Moore. A penalty on Streif for movement. And it brings up 2nd and goal from the 8. Pierre Thomas now the running back. Henderson, Colston, and Meacham to the near side of the field. Meacham goes in motion left to right. Breeze up under center. Hands it off Thomas. Right side, Pierre Thomas, and he's down to around the 2. Got a great nose for the goal line, and he's so effective in the red zone. Gary Brackett, the middle linebacker, brings him down after a 6-yard gain. Heading to the sideline, Meacham, Colston, Henderson, Thomas. Mike Bell checks back in. Mike Bell, who's been not very effective in the last stages of the season, but this was his territory early on, and Breeze is going to watch the clock run down to the 2-minute warning and head to the sideline.
And at the 2-minute warning, here's your warning from the Louisiana Partners for Highway Safety, reminding everybody to buckle up.
Saints trying to stuff it in the end zone and tie things up with 2 minutes remaining before the half. The Saints are trailing by a score of 10-3. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
This is Brother Fromeyer of River Parish Disposal. River Parish Disposal has sponsored Saints Radio Network through 5 coaches over 20 seasons. Everyone remembers Buddy D doing our commercials. Buddy D was River Parish Disposal's biggest fan, and we were buddies. So with our boys making the playoffs and setting record after record, I think we should dedicate this season to Buddy D. Come on, guys, let's get out there and win one for the Lipper.
River Parish Disposal. Yeah, our business stinks, but it's picking up.
Talking trash to me. Talking trash.
Ronnie, Glory, Wookie. Not today, Sugar Bear. Saints and F. You got it. Oh, when our Saints go marching in.
This is Ronnie Lamarck, and all of us at Lamarck Ford, Champs Collision Centers, and Mercedes-Benz and Mobile are all pulling for our Saints. God, what a blessing.
Go marching in. Come on.
Who that? Who that? Who that say they're going to beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Hokie here. When you shop at Rouse's, it has 3 times the economic impact on our community as shopping a national chain. So buy local, eat local. Nobody sells more Louisiana groceries than Rouse's. If it's grown, caught, or made in Louisiana, you'll find it at Rouse's.
This is Dr. Joy Lacoste of Louisiana Dental Center. We're proud to announce the addition to our Covington office, orthodontist Dr. George Morris. We invite all patients, old and new. Call Dr. Morris at 985-893-5522.
We lead, they follow. WWL.
11th play of this drive upcoming. Jeremy Shockey spent some of the time out talking to the officials and complaining probably about being held. And he has made a reception in this drive. The Saints had it 1st and goal at the 3. Lost a yard on a pass to Moore. Had a 5-yard penalty against Streif, and Thomas has run it back to the 1. And so it is 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. And as we mentioned, this used to be the place early in the season where Mike Bell would go up and over the pile and into the end zone.
Well, Mike Bell is in there. They also have a fullback in there. They've got 2 tight ends and Zach Streif. So if you're asking me, I think that the Saints are going to be playing some power football right here. This is their jumbo formation with 2 tight ends, a fullback, and then an extra offensive lineman in there as a blocker. I mean, that's it, run all the way.
Timeout's a little bit longer than usual to accommodate the Super Bowl commercials. Well, the Colts are limbering up along the defensive line, and the Saints come up in a tight formation. The tailback is Bell. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Shockey comes in motion left to right. Handoff Bell, right side. He slips down and is going to lose about a yard on the play. Coming up to cover him up is Philip Wheeler. So that footing that Kristian talked about becoming a little bit more precarious, and the Saints offense staying right out there. As it looks like a timeout has been called. There is a timeout on the field. The Saints will call it. We'll step aside. 1:55 to play before halftime. Saints apparently going to go for it here on 4th and goal, trailing by a score of 10-3. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Coastal Shoring is your hazard mitigation, road, home, and ICC specialist. Under the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, homeowners can receive additional funds to raise their homes.
Hello, this is Mario Brazil at Coastal Shoring. Coastal Shoring will raise your home at no out-of-pocket cost. No gimmicks, no games, no hassles.
Decrease your flood insurance premiums by allowing Coastal Shoring to secure the elevation your home needs to avoid any worry. Coastal Shoring is a turnkey organization which is dedicated to creating the best results for you, the homeowner. Do not delay. Call Coastal Shoring now. 512-LIFT. That's 504-512-LIFT. Coastal Shoring employs a team of hazard mitigation, road, home, and ICC funding specialists. Coastal Shoring's turnkey operation helps to lessen your load. From raising your home, electrical, and plumbing, with Coastal Shoring, there's no worry. Let Coastal Shoring lift your home to new standards. Call Coastal Shoring today. 512-LIFT. That's 504-512-LIFT. Or online at coastalshoring.com.
Artist and jewelry designer Mignon Faget designed her first fleur-de-lis jewelry 30 years ago. Her designs are inspired by New Orleans. Her designs are handcrafted in New Orleans. Visit a Mignon Faget gallery for exceptional fleur-de-lis jewelry, glassware, crystal, candles, and gifts. Lakeside Mall, Canal Place, 3801 Magazine Street, and Baton Rouge Town Center. Also online at www.mignonfaget.com. Celebrating 40 years of design. Mignon Vazquez, New Orleans.
Join Big Chief Deke Bellavia for LSU tailgating Saturday on WWL.
Colts calling that timeout. They have 2 remaining in the half. The Saints have all 3. You like this call, Hoke?
Not really. I mean, if Mike Bell would have just at least gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, say you lost about a half a yard, you still get some points right here. But I'm not really in favor of this play at this stage of the game.
4th and goal from just outside the 1-yard line. Breeze up under center. Hands it off Pierre Thomas. Thomas is going to be taken down for a loss of about a yard on the play. This Colts defense has great speed, and Clint Session swarmed to the ball, and he had a lot of help. So the Saints squander a 1st and goal opportunity at the 3, come away with nothing, and the Colt bench erupts.
Yeah, and I tell you, I mean, you're sitting here, you're talking about one of the best in the game at working the 2-minute offense, and Peyton Manning has still got 2 timeouts to his disposal with 1 minute and 49 seconds left on the clock. I mean, right there, I mean, I'm in favor of getting something on the board. You put a nice drive together here in your last couple of drives. You've gotten a little momentum, but once again, the Saints are still not trying to run at Dwight Freeney there. And again, it's hard to blame them. I mean, you got all your Pro Bowlers on the right-hand side, but they're trying to run a lot of outside plays, and with the speed of that Colts defense, especially with a guy like Mike Bell or Pierre Thomas, they just don't have the speed to outrun those guys. Reggie Bush, possibly.
They had no chance. Thomas stopped for no gain, and the Colts will take over 1st and 10 from their 2-yard line. They will run it straight ahead with Mike Hart getting his first carry. And the running back, 2nd-year man out of Michigan, takes it ahead for about 4 yards. Cedric Ellis, the Saint defensive tackle, on the stop. So the Saints take a deep breath and try to regroup. They had something going. They had the momentum going their way, but unable to punch it over on 1st and goal from the 3. Losing a yard on a pass, a 5-yard penalty on Streif. Thomas running it back to the 1. Bell stopped for no gain. And then Pierre Thomas stopped on 4th and goal. Joseph Adai back there has the tailback in the eye. He gets the call. Adai skips ahead and breaks a tackle beyond the 10. He's up to around the 11-yard line and looks to be just short of the 1st down. We'll see where they're going to spot the football. Darren Sharper on the stop after a 5-yard gain.
Well, there were no challenges this half, but you can still sign up for First Bank and Trust totally free checking this week at any of our branches and get a Saints debit card and a free Saints tailgating chair. First Bank and Trust, official banking partner of the New Orleans Saints.
Well, the Saints have always prided themselves on scoring in the last 2 minutes of the half. 79 points in the last 2 minutes of halves in the regular season. But tonight, the footing a little bit slick for Mike Bell, and then the speed of the Colts too fast for the Saints as they ran Pierre Thomas to the right.
Well, in this 3rd and 1 situation right here, Sean Payton has called the timeout. His defense needs to come up with a stop right now, because that would, we're inside of under a minute, but that would still give the Saints a little bit of time maybe to work out something to try and get that field goal back.
3rd and 1 from the Colt 10-yard line. Backs off set. Give it off to the fullback, and he plunges straight ahead. And with 2nd and 3rd effort, he'll be close. That was Mike Hart.
I don't think he got it, Jim. I think he's going to be about a foot short just from the official that's coming in. He's just barely on the other side of the 10. Let's go right down to Kristian Garic.
Yeah, just from where he's from field level, looks like where he's spotting the line judge here. It looks like he's going to be a little short, about a 1.5 foot short.
From our vantage point, that's the way it looks as well. They're going to bring the chains in from the far side of the field, and if the Colts have to punt the football away, the Saints will have, maybe about 39, 40 seconds left to work with here in the 1st half, and a pair of timeouts. They stretch out the chains and find that he is short by about 1.5 foot. Will Smith, Darren Sharper and company.
Timeout.
Pleased with their effort there.
This is their 2nd charge timeout.
As the Saints will take another timeout with 46 seconds left before halftime, and Reggie Bush coming out of the field at the 35-yard line of the Saints. Of course, we remember Reggie Bush, the good Reggie against the Arizona Cardinals when he brought back a punt for a touchdown, and then the bad Reggie against the Minnesota Vikings, in which he made a bad decision and muffed a punt down around his 10-yard line that fortunately the Saints got right back.
Well, and as of tonight, he's been pretty good. He doesn't have that many touches, but he's gotten a lot of positive yards when he has gotten the ball.
Pat McAfee will be punting from about 3 yards in his end zone. Has not had any blocked in the regular season nor in postseason. The rookie out of West Virginia. Snap back. Saints with a return on. A wobbly punt. Bush with room. Comes up to the 45-yard line. Runs to the far sideline. Stops, and he's going to be taken down. As Reggie Bush, looking for running room, couldn't find a whole lot. Thanks to Aaron Francisco, who is down there to bring him down after a 45-yard punt. Just 3 yards on the Bush return. 35 seconds remaining on the first half clock. Well, so much for the offensive end-to-end, wide-open, many points scored display, at least here in the first half.
Yeah, and I'd like to just say something on that punt return right there by Reggie Bush. He didn't get any help from his guys. That the two gunners did a good job of, or the two guys on the outside on the gunners, they did a good job, but his interior people, they just let the Colts run free. It was a perfect punt for Reggie to return, but there were just too many blue jerseys running down the middle of the field.
From his 48, Breeze can't find anybody, but now throws over the middle to Henderson, and Henderson makes a juggling reception down to the, well, let's call it about the 33-yard line of the Colts as Breeze jumps up and snaps the ball and spikes it. That would be a 20-yard reception by Henderson, and with the spike of the football, the clock is stopped with 20 seconds remaining before halftime.
Well, you got plenty of time. You still got a timeout right there. And I mean, good job of Debry Henderson just settling down right there in the middle of the field. Drew's got plenty of time. Debry has to make a nice adjustment, but he does the right thing. Catch the ball, get down. He really didn't have anywhere to run anyway, but, I mean, you could see right from the get-go. He knew to get down, get your line up there, and spike the ball.
2nd and 10 from the Colt 32. 20 seconds remaining before the half. From the shotgun, Breeze throws near sideline. Henderson trying to get it out of bounds, cannot, as he's taken down by Jacob Lacey. Again, it's right in front of the Colt bench, and we are screened by the player standing on the sideline. We'll give him a 6-yard gain, and the clock is stopped with the Saints' 3rd and final timeout of it. Now the ball rests at the 27-yard line of the Colts. The Saints have but one score in this game, a 46-yard Garrett Hartley field goal, accounting for our 10-3 score after the Colts dominated the first quarter and led 10-0 after the first 15 minutes.
And it is imperative right now with your timeouts gone, your 3rd down, that you're going to have to get the ball. You've got to get out of bounds right now with only 11 seconds left to go.
And so far, the biggest plays of the first half made primarily by the Colt defense with that goal line stand after the Saints had it 1st and goal at the 3 and came away with nothing. Colston 5 receptions for 66, Henderson 3 for 31. 3rd and 5 from the Colt 27. From the shotgun, Breeze rolls to his left, throws short. Bush takes it to the sideline and out of bounds with 5 seconds remaining. Jacob Lacey on the coverage, and the Saints will have to bring on their kicking team and Garrett Hartley after just a 2-yard gain. And so on will come Hartley for his 2nd attempt of the half. Brunell will kneel at the 34-yard line, making it a 44-yard attempt, left hash mark. Kyle snaps it. Brunell puts it down. Hartley has it on its way, and it is good.
All right.
So Garrett Hartley continues his hot streak on the final play of the first half. The Saints add their 2nd field goal, and after 30 minutes of football, it's the Colts 10 and the Saints 6. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Okay. This is Brother Fromeyer of River Parish Disposal. River Parish Disposal has sponsored Saints Radio Network through 5 coaches over 20 seasons. Everyone remembers Buddy D doing our commercials. Buddy D was River Parish Disposal's biggest fan, and we were buddies. So with our boys making the playoffs and setting record after record, I think we should dedicate this season to Buddy D. Come on, guys, let's get out there and win one for the Lipper.
River Parish Disposal. Yeah, our business stinks, but it's picking up.
Talking trash to me. Talking trash.
We interrupt this broadcast with this special report. Giant crabs, shrimp, and oysters have been captured around New Orleans. Anyone that can help consume these giant seafood delicacies should contact Deanie's Seafood.
They don't make radio like that anymore. But there is a place that's just like old times, Deanie's Seafood. For over 40 years, they've been serving giant portions of the best boiled, broiled, and fried seafood around. Come enjoy that great food and some of the friendly folks that help make New Orleans special. Deanie's Seafood in Bucktown and just a block off Bourbon in the Quarter.
This Valentine's Day, the only thing brighter than her smile will be the sparkle of her Oakland Heart creation, with diamond heart necklaces starting at only $159. Or our unbeatable collection of fleur-de-lis jewelry, like our new sterling silver fleur-de-lis ring for only $79. Or our gold and diamond fleur-de-lis pendant for just $475. From diamond heart necklaces to fleur-de-lis, you'll find something for every budget, with prices starting at just $79. Oakland Heart Jewelers on Metairie Road.
Wake up with Bob Del Giorno, weekdays 6 to 10 on WWL. Here's the AT&T Saints halftime show on the Saints Radio Network. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network, AT&T, your world delivered.
And welcome to the AT&T halftime show here on the Saints Radio Network. We're at halftime at Sun Life Stadium down in South Florida, where the Indianapolis Colts hold a 10-6 lead over the New Orleans Saints. Let's look at some halftime stats, and they're brought to you by Louisiana Machinery. Taking a look at team stats. The Saints, 179 yards of total offense. The Colts with 169. New Orleans has 157 yards passing. Indianapolis with 97. New Orleans 22 yards on the ground. Indianapolis with 72. The Saints holding the edge in time of possession, 16 minutes and 57 seconds, while the Colts have 13 minutes and 3 seconds. Looking at the scoring in the first half, Indianapolis, all 10 of their first points in the first quarter. Matt Stowe for a 38-yard field goal gave them a 3-0 lead at the 7:29 mark of the first quarter. After Indianapolis marched 11 plays, 53 yards in 5 minutes and 53 seconds. On their next scoring possession, Peyton Manning threw a 19-yard pass to Pierre Gajan to lead 10-0 with 36 seconds left in the first quarter, as they went 11 plays, 96 yards in 4 minutes and 36 seconds. The Saints both scores in the second quarter. Garrett Hawley, a 46-yard field goal, cutting the lead to 10-3 for Indianapolis with a 9:34 in the second. The Saints went 11 plays, 60 yards in 6 minutes and 2 seconds, 4 rushes and 7 passes. And just right before the half, the Saints going down the field and getting a big score there as they come up with a Hawley 44-yard field goal, and to cut the lead to 10-6. The Saints with 5 plays, 26 yards and 35 seconds. We'll take a look at some individual numbers in just a moment. We are at halftime at Super Bowl 44 down in South Florida, where it's the Colts 10 and the Indianapolis Colts 6. We will continue with the AT&T halftime show here on the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Contracting can be a tough business, and I know a little about working in a tough business. I'm Bobby Hebert, and I'm here with Chris Anderson at Advanced Building Products. Chris, tell us what the pros should know.
If you are using different suppliers for windows, roofing, siding, hardy, and more, we can make your life a little easier because we carry it all. Large inventories and next-day delivery guarantee you a hassle-free experience.
In New Orleans, Baton Rouge, or Lafayette, Advanced Building Products. They're easy to do business with.
The way our boys in black and gold are playing, they deserve a national 5-star rating. Just like the national 5-star rating Bauer Financial, the national bank rating service recently gave Metairie Bank as one of the nation's most stable, safe, and secure banking institutions. For over 60 years, Metairie Bank has been known as the local bank of personal service. And now with this superior national rating, Metairie Bank offers 5-star peace of mind you can bank on. Visit MetairieBank.com for all the details. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The news, talk, and sports leader, WWL.
And welcome back to the AT&T halftime show. This extended 28 minutes.
Steps into the football, and it's an onside kick. And it's going to be covered up by Chris Reese, I believe. He had it momentarily. They're still fighting for it. No indication as yet. Still a battle down there. Still a scrum as players are separated. And some hostilities break out. Usama Young getting into it with one of the Colts. And still no indication as the Saints try to pull off the onside kick to begin the second half, and still no indication.
Well, it worked for a moment. I don't know if Chris Reese was able to get on that ball, but, I mean, he certainly had it. But right now, there's such a pile of people down there.
Jeremy Shockey says it's the Saints' ball. The officials have made no declaration yet. Many of the other Saints in front of the Saints bench where this occurred, indicating it's New Orleans' ball.
I don't see how anybody can tell anything. You know, I mean, what the players ought to do is just back up a little bit and let them just start peeling them off that pile, find out who does have the football.
It's like working on an avocado. Yeah. There's the first indication. And after the Who plays at halftime, maybe it's the Colts who are saying we won't get fooled again because the Saints fooled them to begin the second half with an onside kick and came away with it.
Well, you can see right there that Chris Reese clearly got it. The thing that he did wrong is he laid on his back. Watch right here on the replay. He gets the ball and he's laying on his back, and that's what allows all the Colts to come in there and try and tear it away from him.
So the Saints pull it off and keep the football, and possession so important, especially in the second halves. And the Saints will have possession of the football to begin it after they go to the trick bag and pull out an onside kick, and we think Chris Reese is the man who recovered it.
I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, it worked out perfectly. Nobody was expecting it. You know, everybody's coming out of that locker room. They're ready, geared up to get the second half going. Let's see if the Saints can kind of pick up where they left off in the first half, moving in that second quarter, the way they moved the ball.
Saints will have the football at their 42-yard line. After Greg McMahon and Sean Payton pull off the successful onside kick, the officials stopping play here and continuing to discuss something down there around the 39-yard line, and now they break up their huddle and we're ready to go. Many of this crowd still sitting back in their seats after a great performance by the Who at halftime, and a long halftime it was. Gave the Saints a lot of time to consider what they wanted to do, and they went with the onside kick successfully. On 1st and 10, play action. Breeze with time, dumps it off over the middle. Pierre Thomas fighting through one tackle and a second, spinning his way down to around the 45-yard line of the Colts. Strong safety Melvin Bullitt on the stop, but that is a 13-yard gain and a Saint first down.
Boy, Pierre Thomas has just got some desire when he carries the football. You don't ever assume as a defensive player that the guy is tackled. Right there, breaks a tackle there, breaks a tackle there, breaks another tackle, keeps those legs moving. He's got tremendous balance, and he's just got so much desire.
1st and 10 at the Colt 46. Reggie Bush checks in. Play action to him. Breeze rolls right. Got a receiver over the middle. That's Henderson. He's made the catch down to around the 36-yard line. That was thrown in traffic. Gary Brackett, the middle linebacker, was all over Devery Henderson, but Henderson has made a couple of catches in traffic here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that ball right there, I think, is intentionally thrown to the inside of Devery Henderson, because as he's crossing from left to right, it's got to be back behind him. Otherwise, he'll throw it right into the lap of the linebacker.
9-yard gain brings up 2nd and 1 at the Colt 37. Breeze goes to the shotgun. Bush split out wide to the right with Colston. 3 receivers to the left. Shockey, Henderson, also Thomas. Here's a throw to Henderson, and he makes the catch down around the 32-yard line as the Saints are moving. And that will be a New Orleans first down after a 4-yard reception.
Well, I don't think that Drew's thrown the ball more than about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
64 reporting eligible, number 64.
Jacob Lacey on the coverage, and Zach Streif, as he has repeatedly throughout the night, comes in to provide extra blocking help on the right side of that offensive line. 1st and 10 Saints at the 32-yard line of the Colts. Just underway, third quarter. Saints trail 10-6. Breeze play action. Throws over the middle. Catch made by Colston. That's going to be down to around the 22-yard line. So Drew Brees slicing and dicing up this Colts secondary as the Saints are moving with the football. Gary Brackett, the middle linebacker, on the stop.
Well, you know, really, if you look at it right here, Jim, I mean, the way that Drew Brees is throwing the ball, I mean, it's like the running game. Again, he's really not throwing the ball much beyond 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, just letting the guys catch it. Colts are right there to make the tackle, but you're just chewing it up in increments.
That's a 9-yard gain, and it brings up 2nd and 1 at the Colt 23. Saints marching after recovering an onside kick to begin the second half. Pierre Thomas is the tailback in the eye. He gets the call right side, breaks it inside, down to around the 15 to the 14-yard line.
Jeremy Shockey needs to be careful. I mean, I understand he's trying to help his buddies downfield, but there's always a little pushing and shoving going on between him and one of the Colts safeties, and eventually somebody's top is going to finally blow, and you're going to end up getting a penalty.
Another Saint first down and a 9-yard gain. Down to the 16-yard line.
Watch right here at the end. Jeremy Shockey comes in, hits their safety. Just a little nudge in the back.
1st and 10 Saints from the 16-yard line of the Colts. Play action. Breeze sets up the screen. Pierre Thomas. Thomas still on his feet. Down to the 5. Makes the move. He's going to score. 16 yards as Pierre Thomas puts the Saints in the end zone for the first time tonight and puts them in the lead for the first time after they were down 10-0 in the first quarter.
And that's exactly the same screen that he caught against the Vikings and made exactly the same kind of cuts and everything else. Drifts out there to the right, picks it up, finds where his blockers is, cuts it to the inside, breaks some tackles, and just will not be denied the goal line. And with that touchdown pass, the Breeze Dream Foundation was energized by South Coast Solar with another $150 donation. South Coast Solar, dependable, renewable energy, southcoastsolar.com.
Jonathan Goodwin with an excellent block. Garrett Hartley's extra point is up and through, and the Houdat's back on their feet as the Saints are in the lead. With a by Morstead that is taken in around the 6-yard line by Simpson. Simpson dancing around the 20, swarmed over and taken down short of the 25-yard line. 18 yards on the return with Usama Young on the stop. Let's pause. To his right, feeling some pressure by McCray, throws it upfield. Dallas Clark makes the reception, slides down, back on his feet, and taken down around the 31-yard line.
Well, that's just something you don't see a whole lot of. Peyton Manning is really having to bust out of that pocket and roll one way or the other. And that time the Saints were getting some good pressure up the middle. Just kind of guys coming with the bull rush. Who was that shoving Jeff Saturday back? Scott Fajita just coming from his linebacker position, and that forced Peyton to roll out of the pocket.
Dallas Clark's first reception since the opening drive of this game is good for 7 yards. 2nd and 3 from his 31. Throw a little bubble screen right side, and this is a die beyond the 35-yard line, and it looks to be a first down for the Colts. Joseph Adai continuing to pay dividends in both the passing and the running game. Cedric Ellis and Bobby McCray combine on the stop.
The Saints really had that diagnosed just right. Jabari Greer comes up and misses a tackle on Joseph Adai. Otherwise, would have been a loss of about a yard, and the Colts would be facing a 3rd down situation.
6-yard gain brings up 1st and 10 at the Colt 36. 2 to his left and 1 to the right for Manning. Adai behind him. Gets the call right side. Adai cuts back and still on his feet. He'll battle his way beyond the 45 up to around the 47-yard line. Joseph Adai continuing to run hard. Tracy Porter on the stop. It was Adai, by far the leading ball carrier in the first half. 7 carries for 60 yards, an average of 8.6.
Well, I think the Saints are just so caught up right now thinking that Peyton Manning is going to throw every down. The guys are not being real responsible in their running gaps in their lanes. They got to stay in there. You've got to always allow for that because Peyton Manning does such a great job with the play fake and on those draws.
On 1st and 10, he throws it to Colley, and Colley makes a move on Sharper to get away from him, but there's Scott Fujita bringing him down short of midfield. That'll be a 3-yard gain. Much has been made of the fact of what a great job Peyton Manning has done with these young receivers. Austin Colley, 4th-round draft choice out of BYU. Pierre Garçon, 2nd-year man out of Mountain Union. 2nd and 8 from the Colt 49. One running back, that is Joseph Adai, and Manning ducks out from under center, directing traffic like it's a Tokyo rush hour traffic jam. He'll give it off to Adai. Adai has a crease once more, but the Saints fill the hole quickly as he gets beyond midfield into Saints territory to around the 47-yard line. Jonathan Vilma on the stop with some help from Jeff Charleston. That is a 4-yard gain. Manning speeding things up. He's a master at this, of setting the tempo. Loves to do it. Very effective at it. Donald Brown checking in. on 3rd and 4 from the Saint 47. Crowd rising to the occasion. Manning in the shotgun, rolling to his right, has room, throws downfield, caught by Clark, thrown there beautifully to the 20-yard line. That ball was just dropped in there gorgeously by Manning, right where it had to be. He threw it right in the bucket. Roman Harper and Scott Shanley making the stop.
And once again, Jonathan Vilma comes on the blitz. He forces Peyton to roll to his right, and I really thought he had overthrown the ball to one of the receivers short because Dallas Clark had 3 Saints defenders around him, and he just dropped it right in there.
Good for 27 yards. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line of the Saints. Play action Manning. Lots of time. Throws over the middle. Broken up nicely by Shanley. Intended for Dallas Clark. Scott Shanley diving in front of Clark to knock the football away and taking some congratulatory pats on the rear end by Roman Harper.
And I'm going to tell you something. If Scott Shanley doesn't leave his feet to reach out there and bat that ball away, Dallas Clark probably catches it in stride. I think Scott Shanley's kind of getting wise to that Peyton's always going to put it out in front of Dallas Clark and let him go get it.
2nd and 10 from the Saint 20-yard line. Handing it off out of the shotgun to Brown, and Brown wriggles free of a potential tackle at the line of scrimmage by Adele and is able to get down to the 15-yard line. Make that Ellis who missed the tackle. That's a 5-yard gain, and it brings up 3rd and 5 from the 15. Manning quickly gets his offense up to the line of scrimmage and then runs around behind it, communicating the play call to everyone. Reggie Wayne, who's been quiet, to the near side of the field, along with Austin Collie. To the far side, it's Adai and Garcon. Manning points in that direction. Now looks to his left, back to his right, stamps his foot, calls for the football. Looking for Wayne, can't find him, brings back near side. Clark inside the 5 to around the 4. And that'll be a 1st down, 1st and goal for the Colts after an 11-yard gain. Manning did a great job of looking to his left and coming back to Clark.
And I'll tell you what, this ain't any cheap receptions that Dallas Clark is getting. I mean, the Saints are jamming him at the line of scrimmage. They're trying covering him with a linebacker. That time, it's supposed to be Roman Harper on him. Clark just out-muscles him, and Peyton looks off to the left and then dumps it to his tight end over the middle.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Colts trying to retake the lead. One back, Adai. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Adai right side, and he spins off a tackle and scores. Jonathan Vilma had him at the 4, couldn't wrap him up. Adai spun off that tackle and was able to go into the end zone standing up on a 4-yard touchdown run.
Well, I tell you what, Joseph Adai is starting to look a lot like Pierre Thomas right now. Just won't go down on first contact. Saints are not doing a very good job at all. Jabari Greer was the first man to have a shot at him. He throws an arm in there. Joseph Adai runs through that, and then he come up there. Darren Sharper's got a chance. Darren Sharper didn't even wrap him up. He just headbutted him. And you're just not going to do that, not in a Super Bowl game with a guy that's running as hard as Joseph Adai.
So the Saints score, and the Colts come right back and answer it with one of their own. The extra point attempt by Stover is up and through. And with 6:15 to play in the 3rd quarter, the Colts retake the lead. It's Indianapolis 17 and New Orleans 13. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Overly Competitive Touch Football Game Player.
Mr. Overly Competitive Touch Football Game Player.
A little friendly competition never hurt anybody. Unless that anybody happens to be the person you're covering.
Bring the pain.
Hands, no. Blazing speed, no. Unresolved anger after being cut from the football team 17 years ago, big time.
I still have issues.
When it comes to two-hand touch, you leave it all out on the field. Your blood, your sweat, your dignity.
Dignity is overrated.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, backyard bruiser. The way you play the game will always leave us in stitches.
Mr. Overly Competitive Touch Football Game Player.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The lawyers at Stanley, Reuter, Ross, Thornton, and Alford know the value of academic excellence. That's why they're sponsoring their Partners for Education initiative to support local schools. Listen to Rick Stanley.
I grew up here and received a fine education in local public schools. Like the Saints, we want the children in our community to be champions today. This week, we will sponsor a donation to John McDonough Senior High School to promote excellence in local education.
Stanley, Reuter, Ross, Thornton, and Alford. Business litigators for New Orleans and the Gulf South region.
Live, local, and still #1. The news, talk, and sports leader, WWL.
That nation gathered around.
Tonight's game was brought to you by SouthCoastSolar.com. Dependable, renewable energy.
And the Colts answer the Saints scoring drive with one of their own, going 76 yards in 10 plays in 5 minutes and 26 seconds. Joseph Adai twisting and turning his way in on a 4-yard touchdown run as the Colts retake the lead by a score of 17-13 with 6:15 remaining in the third quarter. And now we're starting to get the kind of game we anticipated.
Peyton Manning on the drive, 6 for 6 for 52 yards. And of that, Dallas Clark had 2 receptions for 38 in that drive. Joseph Adai having a big night, 10 carries for 79 yards and that 1 touchdown. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, you can attribute a lot of that to some shabby tackling on the part of the Saints.
I would have to agree, but Drew Brees starting to heat up, is 21 of 27 on the night for 215 yards. And he's done very well for himself of late. And the Saints will get an opportunity to return this kickoff as the Manning family looks on. Here's Courtney Roby to return it from the goal line. To the 10, he's to the 15, the 20, running left 25, he's across the 30 and bounced out of bounds in front of the Saint bench. Courtney Roby with an effective return of 35 yards, and it was Tom Jennings, make that Tim Jennings, on the tackle. And so with 6:08 to play in the third quarter, we'll take the break. The Colts on top of the Saints 17-13. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Hey, Saints fans, kick off your next paint project by going straight to the pros at Lowe's, the official home improvement warehouse of the New Orleans Saints and the Louisiana Superdome. Lowe's has the know-how, supplies, and high-quality paint like Valspar to help you transform any room, all at everyday low prices. Stop by today and get your paint project started. Lowe's, let's build something together.
How can anyone be organized without egg timers? That means wake the kids. Start the coffee. Now this one is to remind me to call the plumber. That means I've got to set this one so I'll remember to walk the dog. Where'd I put the dog?
Egg timers? Really? Take charge with the new Palm Pixie Plus from Verizon. Run multiple apps, merge contacts and calendars, check emails, and surf the web while on the go. It's the 3G smartphone, smart enough to keep up with Mom. And now you can buy one for just $99.99 and get a second one free, both after a $100 mail-in rebate debit card. Or check out the new multitasking Palm 3 Plus, all on America's largest and most reliable 3G network. The smartest smartphones come with the most 3G coverage in America. Visit Verizon Wireless, VerizonWireless.com, or call 1-800-2JOIN-IN.
Both phones require new 2-year activation on a voice plan with $29.99 per month data pack. Early termination and other fees apply. Coverage details at VerizonWireless.com.
Okay. You like what you heard on WWL? Check out the podcast at WWL.com.
So on comes this Saints offense once more that's been somewhat pass-heavy and not very accomplished on the ground tonight.
27 passing attempts, 11 rushes at 38 total plays and netted 237 yards. So their production is pretty good, especially when you consider how little production they had in the first quarter. They've really done a lot of good in the second quarter and one drive in the third quarter.
So it is 1st and 10 for the Saints at their 34-yard line. They will open with an I backfield, and the tailback is Pierre Thomas. He runs left, and Thomas with a gain to about the 40-yard line. Pretty good effort on first down with the right defensive tackle Dan Muir stopping him after a 6-yard gain.
I mean, do you know of any maybe little nagging injury that Mike Bell has, or has he gotten in the doghouse or something? He just hadn't been used very much here in postseason.
Wasn't used at all against the Vikings, used down around the goal line and failed to get in on that aborted first and goal from the 3 that the Saints had in the second quarter. 2nd and 5 from the Saint 39. Breeze out of the shotgun. Has time, dumps it off over the middle. Reggie Bush still on his feet, slips the tackle and dives into Colt territory to around the 47-yard line. The free safety Antoine Bethea touching him down after a 13-yard gain. Gerard Powers missed the tackle on Bush that would have limited it to a fairly short gain.
Well, I imagine the guys in the Indianapolis Colts booth calling radio probably talking about the shabby tackling on the part of the Colts.
Two talented offenses making the defenses look bad here occasionally in the open field. 1st and 10 for the Saints at the 48-yard line of the Colts. 4:51 to play, third quarter. Colts back on top. Play action. Breeze with a lot of time has to throw it out to the left flat to Bush, and he drops the ball, and it was tipped up in the air and nearly intercepted by the weak side linebacker Clint Session, with a lot of green space in front of him.
Boy, that would have been trouble right there. I mean, Reggie Bush, as fast as he is, he might have been able to run him down from behind, but, well, that's just dangerous. But, you know, I think it was one of those things that Reggie just kind of casually went out in that route. He knew he was not one of the first 2 or 3 options for Drew to go to, so I don't think he was really prepared for that ball to come his way.
Breeze could find nothing downfield. The Saints haven't turned the ball over, nor have they forced one. On 2nd and 10 from the Colt 48. Play action. Breeze rolls to his left, throws, and it's going to be caught on the far sideline by Devery Henderson down around the 35-yard line, spotted at the 36. Tim Jennings bringing him down. But that will be a 12-yard gain and another Saint first down.
That is really a good catch by Devery Henderson. Watch right here. He extends his hands away from his body to snatch that ball out of the air. That looked more like some of the things you see Marcus Colston do.
Exactly. Devery's really turned into a very dangerous and sure-handed receiver, much different than early in his career. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line of the Colts. Saints driving. Play action. Breeze stops. Throws underneath. Catch made by Colston, or rather Meacham, and he is taken down immediately. Robert Meacham's had a very quiet night. Gerard Powers in on the stop. They'll spot the football at the 35-yard line of the Colts. That'll just be a 3-yard gain.
I think, is that the first reception for Meacham tonight?
I believe it is.
Calling his name, and, you know, not a whole lot he can do right there as far as run after the catch.
And so it will bring up 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. Handoff Thomas, not much as he runs it straight ahead to around the 34, perhaps the 33-yard line. And the middle linebacker, Gary Brackett, is a very active one. He makes the tackle, 7th-year man out of Rutgers.
I still, for the life of me, Jim, I can't recall a play in this game where they have attacked Dwight Freeney on a running play. You know, maybe, you know, have him stood up there by the tackle, maybe have a fullback go in there and hit him. Everything seems to be going to the right.
Saints just 3 of 8 in third down conversions, looking at 3rd and 7 from the Colt 33. From the shotgun, Breeze. Lots of time. Throws short underneath the Shockey, and he's going to be hit immediately around the 30-yard line. Jeremy Shockey had no room to run, and he's limited to just a 4-yard gain, as the Saints will bring on Garrett Hartley once more.
Well, I mean, right there, I mean, Jeremy Shockey, I don't think he was really aware of where the sticks were. He ended up hooking up that route about a yard or two short of the first down marker, and he was tackled immediately.
Looks to be about a 47-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark. Hartley's 2 out of 2, has this one on its way, and it is good. He is 3 out of 3. Garrett Hartley, the hero of the NFC Championship game victory over the Vikings, flawless tonight as the Saints pull back within a point of the Colts. So with 2:01 remaining in the third quarter, it's now the Colts 17 and the Saints 16. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Real men of genius. Today we salute you, Mr. Unathletic Sports Talk Radio guy. You know everything there is to know about the world of sports, except how to play them.
No coordination.
You talk sports for 8 hours a day, which is 7 hours and 45 minutes more than anyone listens.
Is anybody out there?
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Unathletic supporter.
Mr. Unathletic Sports Talk Radio
Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ray Branch Nissan has a goal. Sell 20 new Nissans tomorrow. It's the final day of the Super Goal. Hustle to Harvey to Ray Branch Nissan and get the new 2010 Altima for $17,995. How low will Ray Branch Nissan go on the price of a new maxed out Maxima? He could go all the way. Only $25,988. Tomorrow only at Ray Branch Nissan during the final day of the Super Goal. On the Palco Boulevard next to Home Depot and Walmart in Harvey and at RayBrantNissan.com.
I'm personal injury attorney Michael Hingle. Have you been hit by a big rig like this one? If you're in a wreck with an 18-wheeler, we'll take them to court and they won't be so big.
Michael Hingle has offices in New Orleans, Hammond, Covington, Slidell, by appointment, Metairie, Houma, LaPlace, Gretna. Call attorney Michael Hingle, 1-800-USA-JURY.
Before you accept a quick check, check with me.
Join Tommy Tucker for the night shift, weeknights 8 to midnight on WWL.
And we're tightened up once more on the Garrett Hartley effort. The Saints go 37 yards in 8 plays in 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Hartley hits from 47 after earlier hitting from 44 and 46. And the Saints draw within a point, 17-16. with 2:01 remaining in the third quarter.
And Drew Brees on that drive was 4 out of 5 for 37 yards. And, the Saints are, they're having a little bit of trouble on third down. In the NFC Championship game, they were 3 of 12. Tonight, they were 3 of 9. So in those two games combined, they're 6 of 21, 29%. That's not their normal rate.
Here's Morstead's kickoff. Chad Simpson to return. From 3 yards deep, he will. Straight ahead to the 10. Veers to his left. Malcolm Jenkins has him, though, just beyond the 10-yard line. Probably made a mistake there, taking that ball out of the end zone on the strong Morstead kickoff. Just 13 yards on the return with 1:55 remaining in the third quarter. Colts will have the football, leading the Saints by a point, 17-16. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Ronnie, Glory, Wookie. Not today, Sugar Bear. Saints and F. You got it. Oh, when our Saints go marching in.
This is Ronnie Lamarck, and all of us at Lamarck Ford, Champs Collision Centers, and Mercedes-Benz and Mobile are all pulling for our Saints. God, what a blessing.
Go marching in. Come on.
Who that? Who that? Who that say they're going to beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
I'm Bobby Hebert, and I know a professional team when I spot one. I'm here with Chris Anderson and the pros at Advanced Building Products. Chris, what makes you the supplier of choice for vinyl siding?
Advanced Building Products is the largest certainteed vinyl siding distributor in a 9-state region. We stock deep inventories of all the right products, and we can deliver to you the next day.
If you're a contractor, builder, or architect, you need to visit the pros at Advanced Building Products. They're easy to do business with.
Hi, this is Dr. Roy Cantrell with Louisiana Dental Center in Covington. At Louisiana Dental Center, we are proud members of the Who Dat Nation.
I'm Dr. Joey Lacoste of Louisiana Dental Center. We join you in supporting our home team on this historic day. Who Dat?
Hokie here. When you shop at Rouse's, it has 3 times the economic impact on our community as shopping a national chain. So buy local, eat local. Nobody sells more Louisiana groceries than Rouse's. If it's grown, caught, or made in Louisiana, you'll find it at Rouse's.
Home of Prep Football Roundup, Friday nights on WWL.
And let's go right down to Kristian Garic with a River Paris Disposal Saints sideline report. Kristian, what you got?
Hokie, we talked earlier about the Saints footing, being kind of treacherous, slipping a lot in the first half. Well, one of the second half adjustments they did make was to their footwear. Several players, especially the ones that are going to be out on the perimeter, not so much in the interior line, but they changed their spikes. They went to a longer spike.
Well, perhaps that will help them get after Peyton Manning, who has not been sacked, was hit a few times in the first half. Ball has not been turned over by either side. Manning 15 of 22 for 149 yards and the touchdown back in the first quarter to Garcon. On 1st and 10 from his 11-yard line. Play action. Manning looks right, fires the football. Catch made and ridden out of bounds on the far sideline. That will be Austin Collie, covered by Randall Gay. Good for 9 yards.
And here, the Colts' first drive of the second half here, he was flushed out of the pocket a couple of times, but they're just not in that first half. They were hitting him, putting him on the ground. Now they're not even getting to him. They're just making him move in the pocket, which you know, he's quite capable of throwing the ball on the run. We all know that.
Donald Brown checks in on 2nd and 1 from the Colt 20. Manning changing the play, it would appear, making his intentions known, handing it off to Brown, who runs straight ahead before he is stacked up by Cedric Ellis. But he's up to around the 25-yard line, and that will be good enough for a Colt first down. Manning quickly dispersing his players from a very quick huddle and bringing him up to the line of scrimmage. That was a 5-yard gain. 1st and 10, 25-yard line of the Colts. We're in the final minute of the third quarter, and the Colts are on top, 17-16. Manning out of the shotgun. Gestures to his right, calls for the football. Looks in that direction, throws it short. Catch made by Collie. Saints ripping at the football, and the play will be blown dead just short of the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Well, after a game against the Vikings in which there were 6 turnovers, no turnovers, none even close so far in this game.
Well, but the thing about it is, in that Vikings game, the Saints had been watching Adrian Peterson. They knew he would put the ball on the ground. He's got to have it. That's the big weakness that young man has got. He's a terrific running back, but he will put it on the ground.
Colts over 100 yards rushing on 2nd and 6. This play is blown dead.
I think the quarter expired.
And that's why it did get blown dead, because the quarter had expired. And we head to the final quarter of regulation with the Colts on top of the Saints by a single point, 17-16. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
How can anyone be organized without egg timers? That means wake the kids. Start the coffee. Now this one is to remind me to call the plumber. That means I've got to set this one so I'll remember to walk the dog. Where'd I put the dog?
Egg timers? Really? Take charge with the new Palm Pixie Plus from Verizon. Run multiple apps, merge contacts and calendars, check emails, and surf the web while on the go. It's the 3G smartphone, smart enough to keep up with Mom.
We've waited a lifetime for this. The World Championship is on the line, and the New Orleans Black and Gold are going to do us proud, and the entire Bill Hood team of dealerships is on their side. We're a leader in World Championship prices, service, and selection. So rush in to Bill Hood Ford, Lincoln Mercury in Hammond, Bill Hood Nissan, Mazda, and Hyundai on the import corner in Hammond, Bill Hood Chevrolet Buick GMC in Amite, or Hood Northlake Chevrolet in Covington. The Bill Hood team of dealerships supports our Black and Gold 100%. Visit hoodauto.com.
If you haven't been to Goodwill lately, you're in for a big surprise. Come to the grand opening of Goodwill's newest store on Highway 22 in Mandeville this Thursday through Sunday. Find great bargains on fashion and vintage clothing and household wares. Clean out your closets and bring your gently used items. You'll help yourself, the community, and the environment, plus get a tax write-off. So come to the grand opening of Goodwill's newest location on Highway 22 in Mandeville next to Paris Parker this Thursday through Sunday. Goodwill. Great prices, great products for a great cause. Goodwill.
People you trust. Bob Del Giorno, weekday morning 6 to 10 on WWL.
This broadcast is presented by the authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the New Orleans Saints or the National Football League is strictly prohibited. This legal disclaimer was brought to you by the lawyers of Stanley, Reuter, Ross, Thornton, and Alford, business litigators for New Orleans and the Gulf South region.
Through 3 quarters, the Colts have 14 first downs to the Saints 15, 101 yards rushing to the Saints just 37, 162 yards passing for the Colts. The Saints have 237. Total yardage, Indianapolis 263, New Orleans 274. Time of possession, the Saints have a 4-minute advantage, 24-30 to 20-30. And no turnovers in this game, but then the Colts seldom do turn the ball.
And that's the reason that for 7 consecutive years they've won at least 12 games. They don't beat themselves. They've got a talented team, make no mistake about that. But you can see the Saints are doing the best. They're doing things like they've done all season long. They're ripping and punching at the football, trying to get somebody to cough it up. But believe me, the Colts are well aware of what the Saints are going to try and do defensively as far as getting the ball away from them.
Saints had 39 takeaways in the regular season, second in the NFL, 26 interceptions. That was third in the NFL. But no giveaways by the Colts tonight. 2nd and 6 from his 29 for Manning as the Colts move it left to right on the first play of the fourth quarter, on top by a single point. Here's Manning looking over the middle, throwing wide open Garcon. Garcon will be taken down around the 46-yard line. He got the mismatch of the linebacker on him. Malcolm Jenkins had to make the tackle, but that's a 17-yard gain.
I believe that was Scott Shanley. I mean, I don't like that matchup from the get-go right there. I mean, Pierre Garcon, and you could see, I mean, Shanley's got him man-to-man, and once Shanley turned his back to him, Garcon took it into the middle of the field, and Scott Shanley was nowhere to be found.
1st and 10 for the Colts up at the Indianapolis 46. Adai, the lone setback behind Manning, who has Colley and Garcon to his right, Reggie Wayne to his left. Here's the handoff to Adai, and this time he's going to be taken down at the 44-yard line. Dropped by Jonathan Vilma, and that'll be a loss of 2 on the carry. But right now, Joseph Adai has been about the biggest factor in this game, apart from the quarterbacks, who have somewhat offset each other.
Yeah, I tell you what, right there, Jonathan Vilma reads that, and really the Colts do probably as good a job as anybody of running that stretch play. That really wasn't the true stretch play per se, more like a delayed draw.
2nd and 12 for the Colts from their 44. Manning with the snap out of the shotgun, throws downfield looking for Wayne, and he lost the football, and it's incomplete. The ball was underthrown. Tracy Porter unhappy with himself because he didn't turn around quite quick enough to maybe make a play on the ball himself. That was quite wide of Wayne and not even close to Porter's attempt at an interception.
Yeah, that's a couple of times now that Peyton has gone to Reggie Wayne, but pretty well off the target. Reggie Wayne kind of running more to the inside and Peyton throwing it to the outside.
Colts 6 of 9 in third down conversions. This is 3rd and 12 from their 44. Manning in the shotgun. Saints dancing around at the linebacking position. Fujita showing blitz. Here he comes. Manning steps up, delivers, and it's a low throw that is caught by Reggie Wayne. We'll find out where it's going to be spotted. It looks to be around the 46-yard line.
I believe it's going to be about a yard short, Jim.
I think he is too of the Saints. That's a 10-yard reception.
They already put up the 4th down marker, but the chains are now over here on the Colts sideline, so it's hard for us to tell, but the Colts are lining up going for it.
4th and 2, says the scoreboard. Adai is the setback behind Manning. 4th and 2 as Manning ducks out from under center. Looks to the sideline, makes a number of motions. As the clock winds down, he's back under center and looking to throw. Does a quick slant, and it's going to be caught. Caught by Reggie Wayne for the first down. He got inside of Tracy Porter, and that's a huge conversion on 4th down.
And I'm going to tell you, 4th and short like that, and boy, that takes a lot of confidence in your receiver. Right there, he just makes one step up to the field. I'm talking about Reggie Wayne to set up Tracy Porter. That's all he needs to get him to do is have Tracy Porter just bail out for a second. Then he runs a quick slant. Peyton just throws a dart.
1st and 10 at the Saint 32-yard line as the Colts convert the 4th down conversion. Adai, the lone setback behind Manning. Garcon and Colley to the right. Wayne to the left. Handoff, Adai left side, and the Saints close quickly and bring him down right around the 30-yard line. Just a short gain of 2 yards. The middle linebacker, Jonathan Vilma, on the stop. Well, that's the great rapport that Manning has always had with the 9th-year receiver out of the University of Miami in the West Bank of New Orleans. So it will be 2nd and 8 from the 30-yard line of the Saints. Donald Brown checks in. 2 to the right and 1 to the left. Typical alignment for Manning, who again is out from underneath center. Resets his running back from left to right. Saints make a move themselves defensively. Here's Manning going to throw it quickly in the slot. It's Colley, and he is stumbling and falling. Covered up by Malcolm Jenkins. as Jenkins comes up very quickly and brings him down around the 33-yard line. And that will be a loss of 3.
Well, the Colts do a real good job of running that bubble screen, but that's something the Saints have watched, and they said, we can't let this thing kill us, because they can use it with Pierre Garçon or with Collie. Both those guys got some good run-after-catch skills. The Saints are ready for it whenever it comes their way.
3rd and 11 from the Saint 33 as the crowd rises as one again. Manning trying to get himself heard. His running back Brown comes up. Manning gives him the message. Here's Manning as the Saints blitz off the corner. It's picked up. He throws, and it's incomplete. Jonathan Vilma on the coverage of Austin Collie, and Vilma would like to see a flag thrown on Collie, who pushed off in an attempt to get the football.
Well, I'm tell you what, that was a heck of a play there by Jonathan Vilma to cover a receiver running a seam route right down the middle of the field. And Jonathan Vilma doesn't have the greatest hands on his team. That would have been a tough interception for him to make. But I think he might have a little bit of an argument right there that he did get pushed by Collie. But tell you what, I like the way that the officials have played this game. They're letting the guys play. They're not going to call anything ticky-tack. It's going to have to be pretty obvious.
So Matt Stover will attempt a 50-yard field goal. The 42-year-old kicker, the oldest player in Super Bowl history, misses it wide to the left and short. Woo! So the Saints continue to trail by just 1, and their fans remain very much into this one, and rightly so. With 10:39 to play, it's the Colts 17 and the Saints 16. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Southern Recycling is a leader in metal recycling. We've been the leader for 109 years, based right here in New Orleans. I'm Joel Dupre. Southern Recycling is a metal recycling leader in the Gulf because we pay the highest price for your tin, steel, auto hulks, aluminum, copper, and stainless steel. Let me say this again. Southern Recycling pays the highest price for your metals in the Gulf South, period. We have scrap yards in New Orleans, Houma, Morgan City, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Gulfport, Mobile, and Pensacola, all the way to Tampa. All along the Gulf, there's still a lot to clean up. Start with the leader, Southern Recycling.
This Valentine's Day, the only thing brighter than her smile will be the sparkle of her Oakland Heart creation, with diamond heart necklaces starting at only $159. Or our unbeatable collection of fleur-de-lis jewelry, like our new sterling silver fleur-de-lis ring for only $79. Or our gold and diamond fleur-de-lis pendant for just $475. From diamond heart necklaces to fleur-de-lis, you'll find something for every budget, with prices starting at just $79. Oakland Heart Jewelers on Metairie Road.
If your air conditioning man says it's just as good as a train, do yourself a favor. Ask him to prove it. They say it's hard to stop a train because nothing else works as well or lasts as long, and it's more affordable than ever. Prove it to yourself at train.com.
Domino's Pizza has a great new pasta dish, bread bowl pasta. There are 5 varieties, or you can build your own. Domino's bread bowl pastas start at $5.99, and for a limited time, you can get a bread bowl pasta for only $5.99 and a Domino's lava cake free. Call your local Domino's Pizza store now.
We lead, they follow. WWL.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Bud Light, official beer of the Saints. And I could use one about right now. The way this game is going, you know, remember I told you before the game, I said I'm not as nervous with this game as I was the NFC Championship game. Well, that has all changed now.
Reggie Bush utilized in all 3 phases, 4 carries for 13, 3 receptions for 30, a return of 3 and a punt, 8 touches for 46 total yards. And that would have been huge if the Colts had put that drive in the end zone. I don't know about whether the Saints could have come back, but right now stopping them after their 4th and 2 conversion on the throw to Reggie Wayne. The 50-yard field goal by Stover is wide left and a bit short, and so the Saints continue to trail by just 1 point. 17-16 on first down. They're going to run it with Reggie near sideline, and Reggie into Colt territory to around the 47-yard line, taken down in front of the Indianapolis bench. That'll be a pickup of 13 yards and a Saint first down.
Well, he's the one guy the Saints have in the backfield that can negate that speed that the Colts have defensively. But again, right there, he's making the quick, right, smart decision by taking the ball up the field.
He checks out. Checking into the backfield is Pierre Thomas on 1st and 10 from the Colt 47. Henderson in motion left to right. Backs offset. Breeze drops, pumps. Looks around. Now settles for a throw underneath to Thomas, who's taken down around the 42-yard line by the middle linebacker, Gary Brackett. You know, you mentioned throughout this game, Hoke, that Breeze has more time than he thinks back there, and that time he utilized all of it, was not in a hurry, and found the check down for 5 yards.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like kind of what Peyton Manning's doing with Dallas Clark. I mean, kind of scan the field and then hit the guy running the drag route across the middle and pick up the positive yardage. I mean, nice job right there by Drew. Again, I mean, I think that's one of the few times he got back there where he was really comfortable and knew that he had plenty of time.
2nd and 5 at the Colts 42. Breeze in the shotgun. Looks to his left, throws near sideline. Catch made by Henderson, who comes back for the football, stays in bounds. You see where they spotted. It's in front of the Colt bench, and we're screened on the play.
But he got it. I believe his forward progress was enough to pick it up by about a yard. I see the chains moving, so.
6-yard gain and a Saint first down. Tim Jennings on the stop. Saints are marching with 8:56 to play in regulation, and the Colts on top 17-16. The Saints led at one point in this game, 13-10, on the Pierre Thomas touchdown reception off the screen pass. On first down, Breeze in the shotgun conveys a change of play to his offense. Drops, looks, throws underneath. Reggie Bush to the near sideline and out of bounds. Got the matchup he wanted on the linebacker Clint Session. And Breeze hitting Bush for 7 yards.
I'm going to tell you what, Jermon Bushrod here in the second half, really, after that sack that he gave up to Dwight Freeney, he's really done a good job on him up to this point, and they're not really using the chip man or a tight end, anything like that. Jermon Bushrod holding his own, and there's Dwight Freeney. You know, he hadn't been able to practice or anything for the last couple of weeks. He's coming out of the ball game pretty regular now because he's probably getting a little tired, just not in the shape from not being able to work.
After a 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 at the Colt 29. Backs in an eye. Breeze drops straight back, throws near sideline, coming back to get it is Colston, and he's wrestled out of bounds by Jennings. The catch is good inbounds at the 20-yard line, good for 9 yards, and another Saint first down.
Well, you know, you always talk about a guy, a great receiver, he's got soft hands. But watch how strong his hands are after he makes the catch right there. The defender trying to rip it out of his hands, and he never lets go of that football.
So the Saints with the football on its nose on the red zone. Threatening once more. 1st and 10 at the Colt 20-yard line. 7:42 to play. Colts on top 17-16. Thomas, the lone setback. Meacham goes in motion left to right. They throw to Meacham right flat. He stiff arms the tackler, stays on his feet, and takes it down to around the 14-yard line. Far sideline, that's where they'll spot it. Robert Meacham with that great size and those long arms. That's good for 6 more yards. Antoine Bethea, the free safety, forces him out of bounds.
I want to tell you what, good stiff arm there by Robert Meacham. He just shoves the cornerback down into the ground.
Yeah, that was
Lacey.
Dave, that was Lacey who was shoved down. Jacob Lacey. 2nd and 4 from the Colt 14. Breeze in the shotgun. Looks over the middle. Throws to David Thomas. Spins off a tackle to the 5. 1st and goal for the Saints. David Thomas on a 9-yard reception, and Breeze spreading that ball all over the field.
Well, I mean, once he got in the groove, got rid of those, I shouldn't say he had the jitters. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not down there on the field. And I know this. He is in a groove right now, and he's spreading the ball around. And that's what makes it so difficult on the Colts. They don't know who to zero in on.
That's the first reception of the night for David Thomas. 1st and goal for the Saints from the 5-yard line. 6:26 to play. Handoff Thomas, right side. Pierre Thomas fights his way down to the 2-yard line. That's a pickup of 3. Gary Brackett, the very active middle linebacker, on the stop.
Well, that's what I like to see when they get down here close, is run the football. Remember when they did it in the first half, they threw the little flat route out there to Lance Moore. That gained nothing, and then they had the 5-yard penalty. Then when they did run the ball, Pierre Thomas got it down to the 1, but they couldn't punch it in.
Breeze has hit 8 different receivers. 2nd and goal from the 2. Saints trailing 17-16. Thomas in the backfield. Here's the throw to Shockey, and it's a touchdown. Jeremy Shockey in the slot to the right. Gets inside Jacob Lacey. The Saints are back in the end zone on a 2-yard touchdown strike and back in the lead.
And it's just hard when you run that quick slant out there with a big tight end for a cornerback to get through the body of Jeremy Shockey and try and make a play on that ball. Now, right now, Sean Payton is considering going for 2 to make this a 7-point ball game. And with that touchdown pass, the Breeze Dream Foundation was energized by South Coast Solar with another $150 donation. South Coast Solar, dependable, renewable energy, southcoastsolar.com.
Jeremy Shockey, who went to a Super Bowl as a spectator with the Giants before coming here and finding happiness with the Saints with a 2-yard touchdown reception. The Saints lead by 5, going for 2 to increase that lead to 7. Reggie Bush is the lone setback. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, all in tight. Here's Breeze rolling to his right. Throw it. The reception is made. No, he couldn't make it by Lance Moore, and he made a juggle of the football and really wasn't in the end zone anyway. Even if he had come down with it, it would have been around the 1-yard line. So the Saints failed on a 2-point conversion. They had tried once during the regular season and were unsuccessful. And so Payton will have 5:42 with which to work, trailing the Saints by 5. It's the Saints 22 and the Colts 17. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 130 has the best trained, most skilled, drug-free, OSHA-compliant electricians that get the job done right the first time, in budget every time. We don't know what you think about unions, but things have changed, and we're the ones making these changes. We've been putting Louisianans to work and lighting up New Orleans for more than 100 years. If you're a business owner or developer and haven't looked at the new IBEW Local 130, call us at 504-831-1372.
Let Oak Creek Homes, your hazard mitigation and ICC specialist, help you secure funds you need. Under the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, homeowners can receive up to $100,000 to raise their home, in addition to any road home or ICC funds you may have previously received. Oak Creek not only has the home to suit your lifestyle and your budget, but also has hazard and mitigation specialists who can help you. Call Oak Creek Homes now in West Wego at 504-436-6175 or in Hammond at 985-542-7557.
We've waited a lifetime for this. The World Championship is on the line, and the New Orleans Black and Gold are going to do us proud, and the entire Bill Hood team of dealerships is on their side. We're a leader in World Championship prices, service, and selection. So rush in to Bill Hood Ford, Lincoln Mercury in Hammond, Bill Hood Nissan, Mazda, and Hyundai on the import corner in Hammond, Bill Hood Chevrolet Buick GMC in Amite, or Hood Northlake Chevrolet in Covington. The Bill Hood team of dealerships supports our Black and Gold 100%. Visit hoodauto.com.
Join Big Chief Deke Bellavia for LSU tailgating Saturday on WWL.
And let's go right down to Kristian Garic with a River Parish Disposal Saints sideline report. Gomer.
Yeah, Saints coach Sean Payton challenging that 2-point conversion. Lance Moore telling him that I caught the ball, I broke the plane, and then the ball was jarred loose. They showed it on a replay. I couldn't see if he juggled it or not, but it looked like at field level, at full speed, that he had caught the ball and the ball had crossed or broken the plane. Dwight Freeney is also going, looks like he's going into the locker room for the Colts.
All right, and here's the coach's challenge. Sign up for First Bank and Trust totally free checking this week at any of our branches and get a Saints debit card and a free Saints tailgating chair. First Bank and Trust, official banking partner of the New Orleans Saints.
They're taking a look at it with the Saints on top by a score of 22-17.
Yeah, he did break the plane of the goal. Yes, he did.
He juggled the football, had it on his fingertips as he was down, but still in possession of the ball. The Colts, Lacey, came over and hit it with his foot. Then the ball came free. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, all that stuff in there about, you know, you got to make a football move. He catches the ball. He's got possession of it right there. And Lacey comes in and kicks it out of his hand. Not intentionally. I mean, it wasn't like he ran up there and punted it out of his hands, but he did kick it. And I tell you what, Kristian, good call down there.
And when did Lacey touch him? We know that he kicked the football, but did he touch Moore while Moore was down and trying to extend the football across the plane? Boy, this is a really tough call.
This is a tough one. There's no doubt about that, because Lance Moore, you know, they say something about, you know, you have to catch the ball, have possession of it, and make a football-type move. Well, in that case, I mean, he caught the ball and hit the ground, and the ball never did hit the ground. It looked like he had possession, but here comes the official.
Reviewing the play, the receiver had possession of the ball with the ball breaking the plane of the goal line. The
Good.
points are
Wow. Yeah. There you go. Good job, Lance Moore, to know exactly what you did. And like I said, they just showed one brief replay after the play happened. I thought, oh, there's no way. Lance Moore said, yes, I had possession of the ball across the plane of the goal. Good on his part to go to Sean Payton and tell him that. Good heads-up play down there, Kristian.
The Saints are now 2 out of 3 in challenges in the postseason after being just 3 of 8 during the regular season. And a good job by Lance Moore calling attention to it. Good challenge by Sean Payton, certainly worth the risk this late in the game. And for the Saints, it pays off in 2 points and extends their lead to 7 points, 24-17.
Yeah, and that's huge. And you hold on to that third timeout. So with 5 minutes and 42 seconds, there's still a lot of football to be played in this game.
And a former Super Bowl MVP under center for the Colts. Here's the kickoff down to the 1-yard line. And this is Simpson running up to the 30, maybe to the 31-yard line before he's taken down by Usama Young after a 29-yard return. And so on comes this Colts offense, trailing once more, this time by 7. It's 24-17 Saints with 5:35 to play in regulation. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Are you a Houdat? Sing it loud.
The lawyers at Stanley, Reuter, Ross, Thornton, and Alford know the value of academic excellence. That's why they're sponsoring their Partners for Education initiative to support local schools. Listen to Rick Stanley.
I grew up here and received a fine education in local public schools. Like the Saints, we want the children in our community to be champions today. This week, we will sponsor a donation to John McDonough Senior High School to promote excellence in local education.
Stanley, Reuter, Ross, Thornton, and Alford. Business litigators for New Orleans and the Gulf South region.
What is a People's Health Champion? It's someone who accomplishes something extraordinary after age 65. And this year, we proudly recognized 11 People's Health Champions on the field at Saints home games. But the People's Health Champions weren't the only champs on that field this year. Congratulations to you, New Orleans Saints, NFC Conference champions. People's Health is proud to be Patron Saints partner, and we wish you all the best in today's Super Bowl. Go Saints!
Since 1906, we are Firestone Complete Auto Care. You've trusted us for your tires, but Firestone Complete Auto Care does more than just tires. We do alignments, oil changes, engine, brake, and AC repairs, and all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. We keep your car running newer, longer. Most stores open Sundays, appointments available, and we have stress-free financing. For one of our 12 convenient locations, call 1-800-LOCATE-US. Firestone Complete Auto Care.
The Houdat Special. 4 tire balance, rotation, and complete vehicle inspection. 1957 applies to most vehicles.
Wake up with Bob Del Giorno, weekdays 6 to 10 on WWL.
Okay.
Drew Brees, 32 of 39 on the night for 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a touchdown to Pierre Thomas on a screen pass of 16 yards in the third quarter, and that 2-yard strike to Jeremy Shockey. Those 32 completions tying Tom Brady's record for Super Bowl completions in a single game. Well, Hoke, here we go, bud. Here we go.
Heebie-jeebie time.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line of the Colts. 5:35 remaining. The Colts trail by 7. Manning in the shotgun. Garcon and Colley to his right, Wayne to the left, and Bobby McRae was offsides, and flags are thrown, although they're calling a false start.
Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Right tackle Ryan Deem. McRae came flying across the line of scrimmage, but he was provoked into doing so. That's 3 penalties for 25 yards against the Colts, and makes it a little bit tougher here for Peyton Manning. It is 1st and 15 from the Colt 25. Joseph Adai stands to the right of Manning. who has all the time in the world. Can't find anybody. Still looking around. Throws it back to the other side. Coming back for the ball is Garcon, taken down at the 42-yard line. Garcon working against Roman Harper as the Saints drop people off. But Manning had time to survey the secondary and completes a 17-yard strike.
Well, I'm not so sure that it was Roman Harper, maybe as much as it was Jabari Greer. Jabari Greer just kind of falls asleep over there and just doesn't collapse on Garcon whenever he comes back to the ball.
1st and 10 Colts at the Indianapolis 42. Manning again throwing left side, and it's broken up by Jenkins. He comes back and slaps the ball away from Reggie Wayne. I think Jenkins must be getting a chance to play the nickel back for Randall Gay because he's been in there the last few series.
Yeah, he makes a really nice break on the ball right here and lunges out. Boy, we were talking about if we could just get that turnover somewhere very, very close to getting the only turnover this game thus far.
2nd and 10 from the Colt 42. 4:57 to play. Indianapolis down a touchdown. Here's Manning from the shotgun, throwing to his right. Catch made by Garcon into Saints territory to the 47-yard line. Scott Shanley on the tackle.
Well, that's that same matchup that they had earlier. That time Scott Shanley does a better job, but still, as I mentioned, I don't like that matchup, your linebacker against a speedy receiver.
10-yard gain, 1st and 10 for the Colts at the Saint 48. Manning going to throw. Bubble screen left side. This is Reggie Wayne, who's taken down around the 36-yard line of the Saints. Tracy Porter on the stop. Colts hurrying things up. Clock shows 4:15 to play. A 12-yard gain brings up 1st and 10 at the Saint 36. Manning in the shotgun. Garcon and Colley to the right. Wayne to the left. Adai stands to Manning's right. Manning gestures to his right, looks in that direction, comes back to his left, and the catch is made by Wayne. He's taken down by Tracy Porter, just short of the Saint 30-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6. Clock winds down and shows 3:43 remaining. 2nd and 5 at the Saint 31. Same alignment. Manning in the shotgun, Adai to his right. Stamps his foot a second time, looks left, now over the middle and throws incomplete. Intended for Colley, had a step on Malcolm Jenkins, but the ball was thrown wide of him and incomplete.
Well, that time the Saints pass rush did get to Peyton Manning. They hit him and knocked him down, and that was probably the reason that ball was a little off target and that he really couldn't step into that throw.
So the clock stops with 3:24 to play and continues to be stopped as there's a Saint hurt. Looks to be Anthony Hargrove, who's going to require attention. And as he's given some, will step aside. Colts driving, but trailing by 7 with 3:24 to play in regulation. It is the Saints 24 and the Colts 17. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Looking for a home built your way on your lot? Then we have the answer at Cretin Homes, your local on-your-lot builder. Hi, I'm Chris Cretin. We have plenty of models and plans to choose from at our design center in Hammond at I-12 and Airport Road. We're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 5, and Saturday, 10 to 5. Visit us on the web at CretinHomes.com. That's Cretin Homes, C-R-E-T-I-N, homes.com. Or give us a call at 800-259-8905 to make an appointment with a new home specialist. At Cretin Homes, building on your lot is our business.
Joey Helm with Mr. Interior Design, Bobby Hebert.
Joey, Benjamin Moore's Aura line is the creme de la creme of paints.
Go on.
Aura is available in unlimited colors. It's washable, allows seamless touch-ups, and you can second coat in an hour. But Joey, explain Benjamin Moore's Aura's low VOCs.
That means it's safe for family and environment. A green paint.
I don't want green. I want azure pear.
Azure pear, like Aura's complete line, is green.
No, it's subtle yellow, like a Bayou sunrise.
But it's green, Bobby.
That's an oxymoron.
Bobby, you're an oxymoron.
For superior used cars, shop Superior Honda, featuring over 125 used vehicles in a wide variety of makes and models from $1,000 to $25,000. It's time to put something new in your garage for a whole lot less. Superior Honda used cars, Manhattan exit on the West Bank.
Hokie here. When you shop at Rouse's, it has 3 times the economic impact on our community as shopping a national chain. So buy local, eat local. Nobody sells more Louisiana groceries than Rouse's. If it's grown, caught, or made in Louisiana, you'll find it at Rouse's.
The news, talk, and sports leader, WWL.
Today's game was delivered by the Satellite Center, the official transmission provider to the Saints Radio Network. Call the Satellite Center at 504-888-DISH to broadcast your sports network.
Anthony Hargrove requires help getting off the field. An apparent injury to his left leg. 3rd and 5 from the New Orleans 31. 2 receivers to the left, Garcon to the right. Manning in the shotgun, puts Collie in motion, looks in his direction. It's picked off! It's picked off! It's Tracy Porter again! He's running free! He's going to go all the way! Hand outstretched! It is a Saint touchdown! 70 yards on the return! 70 yards on the return by Porter! He did it to Favre, and now he's done it to Manning!
I'm going to tell you what, Tracy Porter knew that route was coming and jumped it. Peyton Manning threw it right to him. He was the only guy left out there to tackle Tracy Porter. Porter ducks to the inside, got that big break when you needed it. Gosh almighty, how fortunate are the Saints to come up with those huge plays whenever they need it. We said that the Colts were a team that don't turn over the ball in crucial situations, but every now and then things like that will happen.
Jumped in front of Reggie Wayne, took the ball, and took it 70 yards for the score. Wow! With 3:12 to play, Garrett Hartley adds the extra point, and the Saints increase their lead. Tracy Porter, grand larceny indeed. The Saints 3 minutes and 12 seconds away from a Super Bowl championship, leading the Colts by a score of 31-17.
Well, and you know what? We've seen Peyton Manning do a lot of miracles. That last throw that he just made was not one of them, but you got to give this Saints team a lot of credit. I mean, that's a gritty bunch that came from 10 points down early in the game. They couldn't do anything offensively in the first quarter. Here they come up. They get their offense going in the second half. Now the defense comes up with that huge turnover like they've been doing all year long, but none bigger than that one.
Wasn't it, though? 70 yards on the return by Tracy Porter. He had 4 interceptions in the regular season, including a touchdown return of 54 against the Dolphins in this very same stadium. And now he's done it again. It was Land Shark Stadium then. It is Sun Life Stadium now. And I'm not so sure it isn't the Superdome all over again, judging by the fans who are on their feet, the towels and the handkerchiefs that are aloft, the second lines in the aisles, and the Saints on top. 31-17 with 3:12 to play. Here's Morstead's kickoff. Simpson fields it a yard deep. Straight ahead to the 10. He's to the 15, to the 20. A bit of a hole, and now it closes, and he goes down at the 35 as a flag is thrown. Evans was down there on the tackle, and he's not getting up as yet. The flag rests at the 25.
Receiving team number 54. 10-yard penalty. First down.
The penalty goes against Freddie Keaho, who is a reserve middle linebacker. And that Saint who is down, and I believe it was Evans, is going to require attention here.
Looks like he's just got cramps, though, Jim. They're out there just kind of stretching his leg. But then again, it's just kind of hard to tell. Bobby McCray huddling over him, and like it might be something a little bit more serious, but the trainers just appear that they're stretching out his leg. But again, could be something much more serious than that.
Who dat chants ringing throughout Sun Life Stadium. Evans still on his back at the 36-yard line, requiring attention. Well, the Saints begged all game long for a turnover. There wasn't even a chance at one until the biggest one of this game, maybe the biggest one in Saints history, the Tracy Porter touchdown return of the interception, 70 yards. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the New Orleans Saints radio network.
The news, talk, and sports leader. The Big 870 WWL New Orleans, 105.3 WWL FM Kenner New Orleans, and WWL.com.
And let's go right down to Kristian Garic with a River Parish disposal. Saints sideline report. Gomer, what you got, man?
Yeah, Troy Evans, it looks like cramps. He was walking off on his own power. Also, Anthony Hargrove, no official word, but they were looking at his left foot.
All right, here's your situation. The ball rests at the 14-yard line of the Colts after the penalty. 1st and 10, Indianapolis. They trail the Saints 31-17. And Saints fans on their feet, hands along, some of them already crying in the stands. It's a little premature for that. There'll be plenty of time for that afterwards if the Saints can continue to hold on to this lead.
Well,
it's just a beautiful scene.
I mean, you can't blame her for crying right now. I mean, just the way the turnaround just changed the complexion of the game. The Colts were moving the ball down at will. Peyton Manning, just like he normally is, just razor sharp. But, you know, look at what Drew Brees has done here in the second half. I mean, he has been on fire himself. So I think really after the first quarter, all these fans across America got what they were looking for in the quarterback duel.
Can Peyton Manning and the Colts overcome a 14-point deficit with 3:05 to play? On 1st and 10 out of the shotgun. Manning throws short, and Clark makes a juggling reception on one knee at the 19-yard line. And he's shaken up. He was down on one knee and made that catch, hit in the back by Malcolm Jenkins after a 5-yard gain. Clock continues to run, shows 2:48 to play. On 2nd and 5, Manning operating solely from the shotgun, spikes the football as the Saints had called timeout.
Timeout, New Orleans. This is a first charge timeout. It's a 22nd timeout.
Maybe the Saints didn't like their lineup or their personnel package in there. I mean, not exactly sure why you would call a timeout in a situation like that. But you know what? It's a smart thing to do if you're Jonathan Vilma or you're Darren Sharper, somebody back there that sees something that you don't like, then make sure that you don't give up one big, huge play. You can take those throws to Dallas Clark for 5 yards every time. That won't hurt you. But you got somebody miss a line, you get hit with a home run, that hurts you.
Well, if you've joined us late, and I don't know why you wouldn't be here from the very beginning, but the Saints fell behind early 10-0. The Colts totally controlled the first quarter. The Saints scraped their way back into it with a couple of field goals before the half when they trailed 10-6. But since then, it's been pretty much all Saints with the exception of the Joseph Adai 4-yard touchdown run in the third quarter. Here's Manning pumping, throwing underneath. Dallas Clark up to the 30, and he'll be tackled inbounds by Jabari Greer. That's an 11-yard gain. Clock shows 2:26 to play. And it'll bring up 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of the Colts. Here's Manning again, stepping up, throwing deep downfield, and it is going to be caught by Colley on the run, and the ball comes free, but he's going to be ruled down by contact. Colley makes the reception all the way down to the 30-yard line.
Well, I mean, really, if you think about it, that's the first time that Peyton has really gone deep in this ball game. He dropped it right in the bucket like he normally does.
This is the 2-minute warning.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. And Hokie's about to tell you.
And here at the 2-minute warning, here's your warning from the Louisiana Partners for Highway Safety, reminding everybody to buckle up.
Buckle up, Saints fans. 2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes remaining between the first championship in Saints history in 43, going on 44 years of existence. 2 minutes left. Saints 31 and the Colts 17. This is the New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Everybody make the who.
How can anyone be organized without egg timers? That means wake the kids. Start the coffee. Now this one is to remind me to call the plumber. That means I've got to set this one so I'll remember to walk the dog. Where'd I put the dog?
Egg timers? Really? Take charge with the new Palm Pixie Plus from Verizon. Run multiple apps, merge contacts and calendars, check emails, and surf the web while on the go. It's the 3G smartphone, smart enough to keep up with Mom. And now you can buy one for just $99.99 and get a second one free, both after a $100 mail-in rebate debit card. Or check out the new multitasking Palm 3 Plus, all on America's largest and most reliable 3G network. The smartest smartphones come with the most 3G coverage in America. Visit Verizon Wireless, VerizonWireless.com, or call 1-800-2-JOIN-IN.
Both phones require new...
Our feature presentation.
It's back. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. It's the Louisiana Lottery's $1 million raffle, and it's your best odds to win $1 million.
Show me the money.
Will you be one of hundreds to win $500 or one of 5 to win $50,000.
It smells like victory.
Or the newest Louisiana millionaire.
I'm king of the world.
Find out April 15th, because when they're gone, they're gone. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
Hi, this is Sean Payton, head coach of your New Orleans Saints. For my friends at First Bank and Trust, does your bank treat you like a first-ring customer? And is your checking account free? I mean, totally free? Check with your local First Bank and Trust banker about their totally free checking, because it's not just kind of free, it's totally free. At First Bank and Trust, your goals come first.
Sign up for First Bank and Trust totally free checking today and get your Saints debit card and a free Saints tailgating chair. At First Bank and Trust, your goals come first. Or FDIC, equal housing lender.
Sports Talk with Bobby Hebert and Deke Bellavia, weekdays 4 to 8 p.m. on WWL.
First and 10 Colts at the Saints 30-yard line. Manning looking left, dumps it off over the middle. Adai still on his feet, fights his way down to around the 12-yard line. The Colts have all 3 timeouts remaining at their disposal. That's an 18-yard gain, and it's first and 10 at the 13-yard line. Manning dumps it off again. Once more, it's a dive brought down by Malcolm Jenkins short of the 5-yard line, and a late flag is thrown here.
Well, but that was thrown into the offensive backfield. I don't know if it's going to be holding on the Colts. I certainly didn't see anybody hit Peyton Manning, but the official threw it way into the backfield, the offensive backfield.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 69 defense, half the distance to the goal, first down.
That's Anthony Hargrove, who has apparently recovered and checked into the game. I didn't see that call. But the call goes against Hargrove, and a penalty half the distance to the goal line will bring the football down to the 3-yard line, where it is first and goal. 1:34 remaining. The Colts need 2 touchdowns. Here's Manning dropping, can't find anybody, pulls it down, now throws it, and it is might have been, no, it's incomplete. Jabari Greer in the far corner of the end zone. We are shielded from that area of the field. A flag has been thrown. Greer made the reception, or the interception rather, but off the field of play. There is a penalty flag we see now resting in the end zone. And the Saints are pointing in the direction of the Colts.
Yeah, Jabari Greer went right there in the huddle.
Interference, offense, number 85, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Pierre Garçon was pushing off on Jabari Greer. As we get another look at it, courtesy of CBS. Didn't really get a chance to see it.
Jabari Greer trying everything he can to keep those 2 feet in that paint down there, but he was just, I guess, as he got shoved by Garçon, that's what made him have to get out of bounds.
First and goal now from the 13, thrown over the middle of Dye. Saints need to make the tackle and do. Scott Shanley inside the 5-yard line. Clock continues to run, 1:17 to play. That's a 10-yard gain. Saints are up 31-17, and now
Indianapolis,
the Colts have called the timeout. Their first of the second half, with the Saints on top 31-17.
Well, I mean, it's you know, you can't ever count out Peyton Manning. I don't care how much time is on the clock. I mean, he's doing it right now. One deep ball to Colley, and the rest of it, he's just dinking and dunking. He's throwing everything in front of that Saints defense. And, you know, the Saints, just other than the one big play, I mean, they're coming in there making the sure tackles and, you know, doing the right thing right there. Scott Shanley, you got to make that tackle, keep the guy in the middle of the field. Don't let him get out of bounds where they can stop the clock. Even though the Colts have the timeouts, you don't want to give them something cheap like that where they can get in the huddle and regroup themselves.
And so it is second and goal with the ball resting at the 3-yard line. A dive behind Manning. Manning looks left, throws over the middle. Ball is tipped up into the air, and it hits the goalpost and incomplete. Darren Sharper looking at that ball that was volleyballed up into the air, had a design to pick it off, but it hit the goalpost, I believe, and did. We'll see who
Scott Shanley.
It must have been Scott Shanley who got a hand up there.
Yeah. But even Darren Sharper, kind of the angle that he was taking right there, had the ball come down, I think he would have been out of the back of the end zone.
Intended for Austin Colley. So here's Manning handing it off to Adai, and Adai is taken down at the line of scrimmage. In fact, behind it. Anthony Hargrove in there, along with the middle of that Saint defensive line, Cedric Ellis. And it brings up 4th down. The line of scrimmage, the 5-yard line. 4th and goal from the 5. Manning pumps right, looks left, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Incomplete, and the ball goes over to the Saints, and the Saints bench erupts. They're going to be the Super Bowl champions, it would appear, with 44 seconds left in this game. Intended for Reggie Wayne. The Saints slapped it away, and the ball goes over to New Orleans with 44 seconds left.
Oh, there's Anthony Hargrove getting some help from his teammates going off again. I don't know who it was in the middle of that Saints defense that deflected the ball, but look, when that thing was bouncing around like that, I said, oh, man, it's going to be one of these miracle plays. Somebody's going to come up with the catch, but actually I think it might have been Reggie Wayne. He let it go right through his hands, I think. Look at his, yeah, it did.
Yeah, he dropped it.
It hit Reggie Wayne in the hands, and he let it go right through his hands, and that he deflected the ball that was intended for him.
Been a quiet night for Reggie Wayne. And a very big second half for this Saint defense. They have limited the Colts to just the 4-yard touchdown run by Joseph Adai in the 3rd quarter. Meanwhile, Drew Brees has caught fire, spread the ball around. They've gotten a huge turnover from Tracy Porter, and Drew Brees kneels with the football as the clock continues to run.
Well, if the Colts don't call a timeout, the Saints won't have to run another play because there's about a 1-second, 2-second differential between the play clock and the game clock.
May not have to run another play in this football game. Look at Sean Payton, Joe Vitt embracing on the sideline. The photographers running over there to get that shot. And the final seconds are elapsing. The Saints do not have to run another play. And it's down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to party with the Lombardi, New Orleans.
It's already started. I promise you, my friend. Oh,
the miracle in Miami has happened. The Saints have won the Super Bowl.
And nobody gave them a chance. I shouldn't say nobody, but the majority of people across the country said the Colts had the experience. They got the 4-time MVP. They got all this. It just seemed that, this is almost like the New York Jets Baltimore Colts game when Joe Namath said, I guarantee you victory.
And it happened in Miami in the Orange Bowl then.
And let's go right down to Kristian.
Hey, Carl, you're a world champion. Tell me how you feel.
Well, somebody's excited.
No delays in the celebration and no delays in the tape. The confetti streams through the air, a scene reminiscent of the NFC Championship game. Different colors tonight, but the same emotions down on the field. The Saints as underdogs, which they've been their entire franchise history, able to come through tonight with a valiant effort from the 2nd quarter on. They limited the Colts to just 1 touchdown, shut down Peyton Manning, who only had 1 touchdown pass at the Pierre Garçon back in the 1st quarter. Garrett Hartley hit 3 field goals, all of them fairly tough, 46, 44, and 47. Pierre Thomas had a 16-yard touchdown run to give the Saints their first lead at 13-10. And then in the 4th quarter, a 2-yard strike to Jeremy Shockey. A 2-yard reception by Lance Moore that was initially ruled incomplete. The Saints challenged successfully, ran their lead to 24-17. And then the kill shot supplied by Tracy Porter, who stepped in front of Reggie Wayne and brought it back 70 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints win the Super Bowl 31-17.
All year long, people have talked destiny. You might say fortunate. You might say that in some cases, well, they got their breaks. There were a lot of cases where some people thought the officials were on the Saints' side, giving them calls, things like that. We said it earlier in the game. The Saints deserve to be here. Now they have proven that they are the best team in the National Football League for the year 2009.
The stage is being erected at midfield. Confetti is flying in here as well.
Got Miss Karen Carroll. She brought her own little bag of black and gold confetti, and she picked it up from the championship game, thought she'd reuse it. It's recyclable confetti.
Maybe we can use it again next year.
There you go.
Who's going to be greedy right now? I can't imagine what the scene must be like back in New Orleans in the French Quarter right now.
I have got a feeling that sometime before we check out of here, that they will show a clip of what's taking place down there in New Orleans, and it is going to be mayhem. Let's go right down to Kristian.
Hey, Bobby McRae, world champion. How's that sound?
It sounds fantastic. New Orleans, here we come, baby. Tear it down. We won the Super Bowl. You predicted it all year, and we did it. It wasn't hard, but we did it. Let's go.
Congratulations, Bobby.
Thank you, baby.
Hey, Bobby McRae, and he stepped in and did such a great job for Charles Grant after Grant was injured in the final game of the regular season, that meaningless game against Carolina. And Saints fans on their feet, dancing in the aisles, tears streaming down their faces. The tears began when the Saints went up 31-17 on the Porter 70-yard touchdown interception return. They have not abated, and many people have joined those who were crying at that time with 3:05 left in the game as the Saints hold on to win. And I think Tom Benson has come out on the field, and he has, down at the far end of the stadium, along with a lot of the Saints families. And what a great moment for the staff, the families, the wives, the relatives, and all the people who are here in Miami celebrating history tonight, the Saints' victory in Super Bowl 44.
What you got for us, Kristian?
Yeah, I got Jabari Greer. You guys kept fighting, and now you're world champions. You battled some adversity, kind of the story of y'all's season.
We did. Worked hard, persevered through it. Guys stand up and made plays, and we got this thing. Guess what? Who the nation? We world champs, baby. We world champs.
Congratulations.
That's what we work for. Thank you.
Kristian, we're going to keep putting you to work down there as you're in the midst of the celebrating Saints. We'll hold it down up here, but get as many people as you can to sample history and relay it to us up here in the booth.
Hey, generally speaking, after the Super Bowl, I don't watch the post-game stuff because usually the team I'm pulling for is the one walking into the locker room. They're not the ones standing out on the podium, but this is just, it's unbelievable. Just all these years, and to be a part of this organization since 1981, and to think where this club was just 4 short years ago.
What an incredible job Sean Payton has done. Coach of the Year in 2006, runner-up this year, and now the coach of a Super Bowl champion. The Saints never got rattled. They looked like they were outclassed in the first quarter. Looked like it might be a runaway. Looked like the Colts were by far the more poised team. Looked like maybe the Saints didn't really think they belonged here. But they settled down in the second quarter. Garrett Hartley kept them within striking distance. When they went to halftime, they were only down 10-6. And Sean Payton's message had to be, hey, look, we're within 4 points of these guys. We've only scored 6 points. Our offense and our defense is really pick things up here in the second half. Guys, we are right in this thing, and they never turned around after the third quarter started, and Pierre Thomas went in on that 16-yard screen pass to give them their first lead. They would subsequently lose that lead momentarily, but then fought back with another Hartley field goal. Breeze to Shockey for 2-point conversion to Moore after that touchdown. There's a 2-yard touchdown pass, Breeze to Shockey. Moore, a 2-point conversion, and then 70 yards on the return by Tracy Porter as he ran his way into Saints history.
Well, and we talked about the demeanor of this team all week long. They came down here, they weren't intimidated by the fact that all the media were here, sticking microphones in everybody's faces. They weren't in awe. They looked at it like, well, we belong here. We won 13 games this season. We won 2 games in the playoffs. We beat the best that the league had to offer, and, we feel like we definitely belong. And there's no doubt about it. They showed that today. Maybe some jitters early on, but boy, when they regrouped, they came out smoking.
Well, people had said, is Drew Brees an elite quarterback without a world championship? And a lot of people argued he already was. but I think now you'd have to say that he certainly is.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. And I mean, in my mind, he was already an elite quarterback just from everything that he's done. You know, and it's a shame that sometimes that's the crowning moment in your career, that you have to win the championship, be proven that way. For everything that Drew Brees has done for this football team right here, right there, you see him holding his son. Let's go right down to Kristian Garic.
They said we couldn't make it. We were down in a lot of games, and we all fought, and we all stayed in it. And when you have guys like this on your team, man, you can't ask for anything else as a player. Nothing else.
Saints defensive tackle Cedric Ellis. Is this what you imagined it would be like?
Oh, it's way beyond what I imagined. You can't imagine nothing like this. You know, I played in big games in college and things like that. But if you look around, nothing compares to this, man. Nothing. Drew Brees did an awesome job. They started getting a little pressure on him early. He stayed composed, like always, and he made his passes, and he kept everybody together. He's a great leader, man.
Big gamble tonight on the fourth down call and the onside kick. What do you guys think of that?
Well, you know, Shad's always willing to make those gambles. I think that's what makes him such a good coach. So sometimes he makes those gambles, and it's our job as players to make them be right. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
CBS momentarily with a shot of the French Quarter. Very reminiscent of the NFC Championship game. That was a great story this week about all the people pouring into New Orleans, all the people filling those hotel rooms, just wanting to experience it, to feel it, even if they couldn't get here, even if they couldn't get a ticket. They wanted to experience history, and they're going to enjoy it tonight. I think they're going to enjoy it all night. I think they're going to enjoy it all day on Monday, and I think they'll all still be there when the Saints parade on Tuesday.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm ashamed, well, not ashamed, I'm just sorry that I'm not going to be able to be there. Our flight out of Miami doesn't leave till about 2:30 in the afternoon. We don't land in New Orleans till probably about 6:30. You know how it is. You got to get your luggage. It'll be 7 o'clock. The parade will be over. But I guarantee you, I'll still hear and feel with those people of everything that's going on down there. The emotions that they're going through is just, I guarantee you and I probably know 10,000 people that are down there on Bourbon Street right now in the French Quarter going through this celebration.
Some beautiful shots of Drew Brees down on the field. His eyes welling up with tears, holding his young son. What an accomplishment for him. What an accomplishment for the Saints. And what a great week for New Orleans.
Oh, I'll tell you, you know, you got Mardi Gras coming the week after. I mean, they're not looking forward to Mardi Gras this year. They want this to go on forever.
Yeah, that's one of those second-rate celebrations after you've won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Mardi Gras is going to have to play second line to the Saints for here over the next couple of weeks, because this is just unbelievable. I think the crowd's getting quiet. They must be fixing to make the announcement down there.
Drew Brees, 32 of 39 on the day, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, never put the ball at risk, was only sacked once by Dwight Freeney, that in the second quarter. Marcus Colston, 7 receptions for 83 yards. Devery Henderson, 7 for 63. Pierre Thomas, 6 for 55. And a really huge touchdown that came in the third quarter that gave the Saints a 13-10 lead, their first lead of the game after trailing early 10-0 after the first quarter of play.
Well, you mentioned there that he never put the ball at risk and only got sacked one time by Dwight Freeney. That was really about the turning point in the ball game right there. To the best of my knowledge, you know, maybe other than a false start here or there, that was about the last mistake that the Saints made, and they really poured it on after that, got things clicking. Their defense stepped up. I'll tell you what, Indianapolis Colts, great organization, great team. I mean, you didn't go out here and beat a bunch of chumps tonight. You beat a quality football team.
You beat a team that many thought would have been 16-0 had they played their starters through the final 2 games, and probably would have been.
But their season would have ended up just like the Patriots a couple of years ago. They wouldn't have had that
celebrating the 40th
record.
anniversary of his Super Bowl IV victory. Please welcome NFL Hall of Fame member Len Dawson and the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
right. Thank you, Lynn Dawson. And Commissioner, it's time for the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy.
Tonight, the two best teams in the NFL played another classic game. Congratulations to both teams. But tonight, the Super Bowl belongs to the city of New Orleans. They're great fans. And Tom, to you, Deshaun, to your incredible team, the hope, courage, and inspiration you provided your community is inspiring. So thank you so much. Congratulations. You're Super Bowl champs.
Mr. Vincent, how can you possibly put this one in the words, what this night means to you in the city of New Orleans?
Well, I tell you, not only the city, but this whole state. And Louisiana, by the way, in New Orleans is back. And this shows the whole world. We're back. We're back. The whole world's back.
Be careful. I know there's nothing that delights you more than being able to turn that trophy over to your head coach, Sean Payton.
I think I could kiss him.
Sean, you got to tell us, your team was down 10-0 after the first quarter, and then you had some of the gutsiest calls. My partner, Phil Simms, talked about it, we've ever seen by any head coach in a Super Bowl. That obviously was born out of a lot of faith in this team. How did you do it?
Well, we talked about it at halftime, and it's really it's a credit to every one of these players here. There's not enough room on this stage for all of them, but they carried out the plan, and I'm just proud. I'm proud of this team, the coaching staff, and everybody back in New Orleans gets a piece of this trophy. Here we go.
And to think that 4 years ago, you came in, you brought this quarterback over from San Diego named Drew Brees. And I know you asked me, can I hand that trophy? It's time for you to pull off the handoff.
I want to hand this trophy to the MVP of the Super Bowl and the MVP of our league, Drew Brees.
There you go. How did you guys pull off this comeback?
We just believed in ourselves, and we knew that we had an entire city and maybe an entire country behind us. And what can I say? I've tried to imagine what this moment would be like for a long time, and it's even better than expected. But God is great, and we've got the best ownership family in the league, best head coach, best general manager, and the best team, and we proved that here tonight.
And the MVP on top of it. You told us this week, this whole experience for you and your wife coming to New Orleans has been almost like a fantasy. It really has. How are you feeling about that tonight?
Just feeling like it was all meant to be. It's all destiny. And what can I say? The birth of my son this year as well, in the first year of his life, we get a Super Bowl championship. He's been my inspiration as well, so just doesn't get any better than that.
I know Mardi Gras doesn't officially really begin Mardi Gras 9 days away, but this is going to be the longest Mardi Gras celebration in history coming up as soon as you guys get home. Congratulations, Drew.
Thank you. Yeah, Mardi Gras may never end. The celebration's not going to end.
There you go. The Vince Lombardi Trophy is in the hands of the New Orleans Saints. The Super Bowl champions will head back to the Superdome as the champions. And we'll continue with our coverage here on CBS in just a moment.
Drew Brees, the emotional and spiritual leader of this football team, accepting the Vince Lombardi Trophy and also earning the Most Valuable Player Award for Super Bowl 44. Well, I want to thank all our guys up here, Brian Duvall, and Sean Fazan, Robert Carroll, my partner Hokie Gajan. Some tears up in this booth, and we've seen a lot of bad football, and we've seen a lot of great football in the last 4 years. I didn't know if I'd ever see this, but it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling.
Vince Lombardi Trophy and the New Orleans Saints in the same sentence. Just never thought I'd hear that, but you know what? Glad Mr. Benson got a chance to say something up there. You know, he's taken a lot of heat from a lot of people, and you know, I think Mr. Benson has done just a superb job. You know, when he hired Mickey Loomis, and Mickey Loomis took the reins there and got Sean Payton. Sean Payton had the guts to go out there and go after an injured quarterback, and you know, now 4 years later, he's the MVP of the Super Bowl. It's on the same weekend that Ricky Jackson gets inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame. I mean, like I said, you call it destiny, call it fate, call it whatever you want. It all came together, and I'm going to tell you, I mean, I'm just as emotional as anybody, and it's just, to be around this team as long as I have, to finally see this happen is just, you just can't explain it. And I know all the former Saints players around the country feel exactly the same way. And Archie Manning himself will congratulate the Saints. And, you know, you've got his son playing over there on the other side, but you know he's proud for this organization as well. All the many people that he worked with here, some that are still here, what is just incredible.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
The news, talk, and sports leader. The Big 870 WWL New Orleans, 105.3 WWL FM Kenner New Orleans, and WWL.com.
That's the end of the game, but only the beginning of the party. With the score, New Orleans 31 and Indianapolis 17. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the world champion New Orleans Saints Radio Network.
Okay.